I'm going to go with Bichette. We've seen him work some at-bats, but no good outcome. I think he gets his outcome today.
All right, we shall see. Well, I'll see you back on the post-game show. Gary, Keith, and Ron right now.
Citi Field in New York, the New York Mets play the Pittsburgh Pirates. Opening week is brought to you by Vanguard, discipline that delivers. Yesterday on a frigid day at Citi Field, Mets came from behind twice in extra innings, capped by Luis Roberts' walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th that sent everybody happy, home, and warm. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling with you today as the Mets go for a sweep of their opening series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. You know, there is nothing that makes a fan base more excited than having a young pitcher who potentially is one of the dominant figures in the game. The Mets have gone through it with Seaver and Gooden and Harvey and DeGrom, and now that guy is Nolan McLean, who after an 8-start cameo last year gets the ball for the first time this season.
You know, we're lucky. We've been doing this for 20 years, and we went through some periods where you could not wait to come to the ballpark when Matt Harvey or Jacob DeGrom had the ball. Well, you feel the same way about this young guy, too. The stats, of course, are evident. ERA a touch over 2 last year. The Mets won 6 of his 8 starts. WBC pitched the final game. Bryce Harper, a teammate, said he's going to be great, and he's going to be great for a long time. We're lucky to be able to watch it.
One of the things that is distinguished on this Mets team this year is the changing role of Brett Beatty. He's in the lineup today playing first base, and the intention is for Carlos Mendoza to play him all over the place this season.
Well, he's the new Jeff McNeil. He can play third, he can play second, he can play right field, and he can play first base. That gives Mendoza a lot of options as far as getting people out there playing early in the season. Mendoza mentioned that he has the most confidence with Beatty at first base, so he can give Polanco a rest. There's a DH now that makes it even easier for a manager to sift in his players and get them in play. So Beatty's very important, and it's a great opportunity for him to stay in the lineup.
2 games down in the regular season, 2 wins for the Mets so far, and they go for the sweep today, trying to dance off to St. Louis with a win. Mets and Pirates coming up on SNY.
My name is Maya. This is
Opening week is brought to you by Vanguard, discipline that delivers. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Toyota. Ready, set, go. Spring into action with a hot new Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. By Spectrum, it's internet, mobile, and streaming TV all from one place. By the New York Lottery, this could be your lucky play. And by your local Honda dealers. Contact your local Honda dealer today. T-Mobile members get free MLB.TV. Redeem at T-Mobile.com/MLB. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcasts of every game and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. A little warmer today than it was yesterday. Wind blowing out. Maybe it's a hitter's day. Not with McLean on the mound. Mets and Bucks first pitch coming up. Nolan McLean only made 8 starts last year. Was still enough to impress and get some Rookie of the Year votes. He's still eligible for Rookie of the Year this year. No telling what he might be able to achieve. Toyota numbers for McLean.
Well, he just across the board, every single number here at Citi Field. Half of his starts, 4. 1 extra base hit allowed in 4 starts here at Citi Field.
Here's the lineup he'll face on a bright sunny day at Citi Field. Monday starting lineup. O'Neill Cruz back in the lineup after being sat yesterday. So is Spencer Horwitz, who sat against the left-hander. Henry Davis as well. Jake Mangum stays in the lineup, though, as they sit Marcell Ozuna in the 3rd game of the season.
And the Metropolitan Car Shield defense. You got a couple changes. A day game after a night game. You got Luis Torrens behind the plate. Terrific arm. Got the big hit yesterday coming off the bench. And Brett Beatty gets his first start at first base. And Polanco is the DH.
How do you like this new defensive array, Keith?
I like it. It's okay. I don't need the diamond. You know where they play, right?
Yeah.
You know how it's all configured.
It's not confusing at all.
First base is 3.
Your voice
second
sounds
base
great
is
today,
4.
by the way.
It's always good in the lineup to have people with the same uniform on, the same outfit on.
Well, it's the Mets in the home white pinstripes. It's a spiffy look, isn't it?
What a beautiful day for a game. A little chilly.
24-year-old Nolan McLean's first pitch to O'Neill Cruz is outside for ball 1, and we're underway. Cruz 1 for 6 in this series so far. Had a star-crossed day on opening day. Came off the bench for a pinch hitting assignment in the game last night, and he fouls off the fastball. McLean last year averaged 95.6 miles an hour on his fastball. Right from his first bullpen session this spring, he was throwing more like 98 and 99, and we saw a lot of that in the WBC.
Remember, by the time we saw him, he had put in almost a full minor league season. And I watched him in the final game in the WBC. He was throwing 97 and 98 miles an hour in that game.
I mean, on a pitching staff that included some of the greatest pitchers in the game, including Tarek Skubal, it was McLean who got chosen to pitch the final against Venezuela. Gave up a couple of runs. Bryce Harper got him off the hook with a home run before Eugenio Suarez got the winning hit for Venezuela in the ninth. McLean walks the leadoff hitter Cruz, and now you have to worry about the stolen base. Cruz stole 38 last year to tie Juan Soto for the National League lead.
Interesting, just through that first batter, missing in the same place with that fastball.
Yeah, I think,
up and running.
I think he's jacked up.
Yeah,
he's got to settle in.
Here's Brandon Lau, 3 for 9 with a couple of home runs on opening day. McLean in his 8 starts last year did not give up a stolen base. Base stealers were 0 for 3 against him. And you've got Luis Torrens behind the plate, one of the best throwers in all of baseball. Torrens getting his first start of the year. And the sweeper misses. 2 balls and no strikes to Lowe.
A little hard time settling in here.
he's getting a little frustrated right now.
He pitches on that third base side of the rubber.
Behind on Loud 2-0. And he misses inside with a sweeper, and it's 3-0.
And that just
walking Cruz. Now he's 3-0 on Loud.
If that just missed, and that was a good curve right there. He got such great spin.
Lau will be swinging here. Good. One of the best fastball hitters in the game.
There you go.
It's fastball right down the middle, and it's 3-1. Brad Reynolds, the switch hitting DH, is on deck.
I think he took a little bit off that pitch and just threw a strike.
The lefties hit just 178 against McLean in his 8 starts last year with no home run. Another fastball right there, and it's 3-2.
That was in 104 plate appearances.
It's the most plate appearances for any pitcher in baseball last year who did not give up a home run to a left-hand hitter. Second on that list, Luis Garcia, who now works out of the Mets bullpen. 3-2 with nobody out. Cruz has not taken any kind of move off first. He has got a very short lead. He's not running, and the sweeper misses for ball 4. So McLean has walked back-to-back hitters to start the day.
Is that going to get a mound visit from the pitching coach?
I would visit him. I would. Just to go out and just settle things down.
Just go out. Yep, exactly.
Say, hey, listen. First start of the year is always different than any other start you're going to make. There's an extra adrenaline. You feel it. And he's going to go out there to calm him down.
And let's not forget, this is his first full season, you know, so it's his first opening series start. A lot has been put on him, and he's going to be the next Seaver. There's a lot going on.
Well, one of the things that characterized McLean, much like Jacob deGrom when he first came up, was his ability to work out of trouble when he got into it in his cameo last year. We'll see how he handles this first inning crisis. That's with 2 players in their lineup today, both of whom were two-way players at Oklahoma State.
And that's
almost unbelievable that could be the case with Nolan McLean and Carson Bench, neither of whom had any idea that they would be in their current roles, and much less on the same field at the same time. So here's Brian Reynolds, 3 for 9 to start the year, and he gets jammed by that fastball and fouls it off. 0-1.
Yeah, he came inside because he was missing away, Ronnie. And he just
That's an interesting thing. I bet you the pitching coach told Torrens center or look to throw the ball inside, let it run back over.
yes.
And he has not been able to get that sweeper over the plate so far. What's amazing is that Benj had more strikeouts in his Oklahoma State career than McLean, and McLean had more home runs in his Oklahoma State career than Benj. And yet they've both gone the other way.
Oh, that's a
And
strike.
that just missed.
Yes.
We're going to get a challenge.
Yeah, that's going to be a strike.
Riggs tapping the helmet.
That's a strike.
DeJesus, the home plate umpire.
Strike.
And it is overturned.
And
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Well, that's one overturn for DeJesus. He's still got 5 to catch CB Buckner from yesterday.
notice it was Torrens that made the request. He's the catcher. He's got the bird's eye view.
With the first weekend of the season, catchers have been successful 64% of the time. The curveball strikes out Reynolds for the first out of the day.
You know, the ABS challenge has always been thought of as a team challenge when you think about it. Good breaking ball under the bat of Reynolds. Sometimes it can be used as an individual challenge to get your guy over the hump, and I think that might have happened right there. Nice choice by Torrens.
So the hitters have been successful on 46% of the challenges. Catchers 64%. Pitchers 25%. Here's Brian O'Hearn, 3 for 9. He homered on opening day, and he takes the fastball just outside, 1-0.
He's got that fastball is running away. It's got good movement away from the left-hand hitter.
And he gets that sweeper over for a strike. First one he's been able to throw over the plate.
And he's got some great spin. You can just tell an outstanding breaking ball.
Both his sweeper and his curveball are elite in terms of spin rate. That's looped in the air to shallow left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Around third comes Cruz. He'll score the first run of the day. Ryan O'Hearn dumps a base into the left to bring in the first run, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
A very good read by O'Neill. He pretty much scored easily as he should have. This is just a little dork right there. Tough break. But he kind of hung that breaking ball, Ronnie.
Well, O'Hearn is legit. He is one of the best hitters in that lineup.
Yeah, that's good base running.
Pirates were the worst offensive team in baseball last year. They fortified themselves by bringing in O'Hearn and Lau and Ozuna. And they're hoping that with their fine young starting pitching that will produce some more wins. Jared Triolo takes a fastball inside, 1-0.
Now listen, I certainly didn't have the tools that Nolan McLean have, but I have the same kind of movement on my fastball. When you're missing like that, sometimes you go away from the 2-seam, go to a 4-seam, throw something a little truer and straighter until you find the home plate. Strike zone.
Both those pitches in his arsenal.
He just keeps throwing that same 2-seamer, and it just has so much vertical run. It's really hard to keep it in the strike zone.
Triolo 2 for 10 in the first 2 games of this series.
Ooh, that ball's up.
And that caught the top of the zone with a cutter, 2 balls and a strike.
I like your rookie year, the way you throw. Even though would you walk 112 that year?
No, the second year.
Second year? Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I loved the way you pitched back then. You had a good fastball. There's a strike.
And that sweeper drops in for a strike, and it's 2-2.
Notice, folks, how we don't need the strike box in there. We can still tell what's a strike and what's a ball.
Well, the folks at home can see the K zone.
The what?
The folks at home can
they see it. We don't.
We don't.
I never pay attention when Greg comes up here and tells us the stuff.
Some things never change.
The 21st year.
I'm glad we don't have the box. Get a clear picture.
2-2 coming to Triolo. And the breaking ball popped up into shallow right. Bench coming over toward the line. And he's got it for the second out.
It's interesting. Lindor was just telling Bench, throw the ball into me. He's not tagging there, because Bench threw that ball all the way to third.
Well, he can throw 96, so he,
you know what?
likes
When you
to ship
have
it
a
off.
good arm, you want to use it.
Yeah. So 2 out of 2 on now Spencer Horwitz. Horwitz sat yesterday against the lefty, 0 for 4 to start the year. He was the Pirates' best offensive player last year. They needed to bring in some folks around him. 28-year-old who first came up with the Blue Jays. And Horwitz wraps one out to left. Soto's right there waiting for it, and that retires the side. So McLean, after a couple of walks, limits the damage to 1 run.
Baseball.
Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto leading a Mets lineup that has scored 15 runs in the first 2 games of the season. Jorge Polanco DHing today. That moves Brett Beatty to first base. Luis Torrens getting his first start after he had a big tying hit in extra innings yesterday. The Honda Mets starting lineup. Carmen Mlodzinski on the mound for the Pirates. Gets his first fastball in for a strike.
You think the pronunciation of his last name, the way it's spelled, would be the most interesting. To me, Carmen is the most interesting. Parents must have been maybe an opera fan.
I don't know this for certain, but I believe he has to be Chris Majkowski's favorite player.
Yeah, right.
Lindor 0 for 7 to start the year. It is one of the quirks of the early season, with the season beginning in March these days. Since he started his Mets tenure in 2021, in March games, Francisco Lindor is 2 for 36.
Wow. Slow starter.
Just got to wait for the calendar to turn. Only a few days away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I mean, I remember a day in first game was April 5th or 6th, right? March 26th.
The first time I remember the Mets playing a home game in March was 1998, which also happens to be the last time they had a walk-off win within the first 2 games of the season. That was against the Phillies. It was March 31st, I think, and it was 87 degrees at game time. And by the time they finished 14 innings later, it was 55. Alberto Castillo had the game-winning hit. Lindor fouls it back, 3-2.
What I find so interesting about yesterday is the season prior, they just never won a game when they were trailing, right, Gary? Like 8 innings or whatever?
Well, they weren't trailing after 8 yesterday, but they were trailing in the 10th and the 11th and came back each time. Soto on deck, then Bichette, and the curveball strikes him out.
That's a good one. Not a strike. That's a first one he dropped on him. That's got some bite, Ronnie.
Well, he's got a good breaking ball. They always have seen him more as a reliever. He's been great out of the bullpen, but he's added a splitter against lefties, and he's always had that good breaking ball. Kid from the University of South Carolina.
Nijinsky was in the rotation to start last year. Made 12 starts at a 4.99 ERA, but out of the bullpen, 2.15. But he won the 5th starter's job in spring training this year. And at least for the moment, that's where he's going to stay.
I thought that was a ball outside.
I thought, no.
Pirates challenge, and it's a strike. So each team has had a call overturned in the first inning.
Uh-oh. Don't take it personally, Ramon.
Ramon, you're 0 for 2.
Yes, powered by T-Mobile. So 0-1 to Soto, who's 3 for 9 to start the year. And he takes the curveball low. Ball and a strike. Ramon de Jesus behind the plate. Clemens, Johnson, and Walcott on the bases.
I thought the first 2 home plate umpires, Walcott and Johnson, called good games.
The ball sends Soto skipping away. 2 balls and a strike.
I love it when home fans get upset when the balls are close to their home players. They overreact.
Isn't that their job? And that fastball catches the inside corner. Soto didn't think so, but he declines the challenge, and it's 2-2.
It might be it's too close. I wouldn't, if I had the option, was playing today, I'd be afraid. I wouldn't want to be the guy that would cost the team one, especially early in
the game.
Yeah.
He's saving those challenges for the meat of the game. And there's a good slider by Nijinsky. And he strikes out Soto. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carmen Nijinsky.
And the Catholic Health Pirates defense pretty much the same as opening day, except Jake Magnum goes out in left field. Henry Davis started behind the plate. O'Hearn second start out in right field. And there's, you know, your Pirate defense.
Here's Bo Bichette. And he takes fastball outside. Bichette 1 for 9 to start the year.
Tell you what, Nijinsky's off to a good start. I mean, he's got some good stuff.
You know where he grew up, Keith? In your new neck of the woods.
Right. Hilton Head?
Hilton Head Island.
Very slow.
Well, he said he likes to play guitar, piano. He likes to golf.
You could
place to grow up.
It's a big yawn. Big yawn.
I'm sure they've got great shrimp and grits, though.
You're getting a lot of reading done, huh?
A lot of naps. It was cold down there, though. This winter it was freezing. I'm kidding.
Which part?
Naps.
I mean, Keith.
It's a slower pace of life.
Keith got used to those Florida winters where, you know,
it's
a lot of activity.
A little better scenery in Florida.
You're not into the low country atmosphere.
No, it's very nice. I love it there.
You better say that.
And Bichette late on that high fastball, and Nijinsky strikes out the side in the opening inning. 1-0 Pirates.
Slice so good.
You can win big while making an amazing difference. Support the Amazing Mets Foundation by joining the 50/50 raffle. Visit Mets.com/50/50 to learn more and join the jackpot. Nolan McLean out for his second inning after giving up a run in the first.
There you go.
Gets ahead 0-2 on Nick Gonzalez.
That's a good hard sinker right there. 96 miles per hour with the sink.
Sinker was missing arm side consistently in that first inning. Like he made an adjustment.
And this is that second inning, Ronnie, you always talk about. If you have a little rugged first and then you come back to second and you got the bottom third of the order to collect yourself.
Yes.
The ball bends outside. It's 1-2. The spin rate last year on McLean's curveball averaged 32.48 RPM. Strike three call, got the outside corner with the sinker. That was the highest spin rate of any curveball in baseball, more than Seth Lugo, who generally had the championship.
It has 19 inches of drop.
I wish they would have had that way of the pitchers that I face that had great curveballs know their spin rate.
Henry Davis chops one out to Semien right at the bag, and quickly there are 2 out.
You're talking about Blyleven and people like that?
Blyleven, you can tell. Carlton, Don Sutton, Doyle Alexander had a great curveball. J.R.
Olson.
Yeah, oh yeah, he was after me. J.R. Richard.
Doc.
Barry Zito. And Doc, of course.
Jake Mangum playing left field today. 2 for 5 in this series. Mangum, the former Met farmhand, now 30 years old, had a terrific rookie season for Tampa Bay last year, and a late swing foul, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Can I add one more pitcher real briefly? Up with a great curveball. Rod Scurry. Oh, remember him with the Pirates?
Right.
Oh, what a curveball he had.
He was with the right team. He looked like a pirate in the uniform. Right, he had that long hair, the big mustache.
I did not like facing him. And that curveball was wicked. If he threw me a fastball, I was not letting it go. I didn't want to hit that hammer. Then you got Clayton Kershaw.
Just retired.
Kershaw learned his curveball watching Sandy Koufax film.
So did Zito.
The left-hander of the St. Louis, Lipitor, has got a good curve.
See him on Wednesday. 3-1 to Mangum. And he takes fastball for a strike, 3-2. Lane walked the first 2 hitters in the opening inning. Gave up a run-scoring hit to Ryan O'Hearn. Since then, has retired the last 4.
It was interesting. Mangum was taking that pitch all the way.
Yeah.
3-1 count.
Well, he's a guy, if he gets on, he can steal a base and set up a run-scoring opportunity.
Well, there used to be a way we used to describe some players as pesky, and you don't do that anymore. He's a pesky player.
Right. Like Johnny Pesky.
It's coming a little more back into vogue, you know, a Stephen Kwan type of a hitter. And he struck him out. Got him with a changeup. That's that kick change he's been working on to get the left-hand hitters out.
Our democracy is under attack.
Jorge Polanco leads off the home second for New York and takes curveball outside from Carmen Majinski, who struck out the side in the first. Polanco is 1 for 5 to start the year with 5 walks in the first 2 games. This is his 13th big league season. And he rips one down the right field line but foul.
Well, the first inning showed a variety of his repertoire. First, the curveball to Lindor, the splitter to Soto after the fastball inside, and then the high heat.
Pitching decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. So it's Polanco's 13th big league season. It is the first time he has ever walked 5 times in a 2-game span.
Yeah, no, he swings.
Yeah.
It's the first time for everything, Gary.
Well, because he's been so patient, as he rolls over one down at first, and Norwoods makes the play to Majinski, 1 out. Luis Robert gave Polanco a lot of credit for his success in that he's been able to see a lot of pitches with Polanco up there to get an idea of what the pitch is doing. And of course, Robert came through yesterday with a 3-run homer that won the game.
Nice applause for Robert standing up for him.
Like that.
Very nice. I think this Met fans are warmed up to this team.
Roberts' walk-off home run yesterday was only the 2nd of his career. The first one came in his rookie season with the White Sox in 2020. That year he finished 2nd in the American League Rookie of the Year balloting. Time for discipline that delivers, brought to you by Vanguard. And he went down and got that ball.
He certainly did. That ball was out of the strike zone. It was like around mid-calf.
He has seen 50 pitches in this series so far. 16. Only 16 have been fastballs.
Yeah. Well, that's the book on him, is that he'll chase the breaking ball. And
right.
He's still chasing, but he's doing a better job, and he's a lot more conscious, he said after the game, of being more selective.
Interesting number choice, 88. Tight end.
He's had that throughout his career. He lines one off the glove of Gonzalez and into left field. Looked like a ball that Gonzalez was going to be able to snag, but it sailed right by. And Roberts aboard.
Boy, he ripped that one. Fastball in. He got the barrel out.
Oh, gosh, you got to catch that ball, don't you?
I mean, it's right there. He was shying. And just tipped off the glove. They're going to call that a hit.
Gonzalez, another guy moving over from second to third base, but I mean,
that's an interesting point, Ronnie.
You got to keep your eye on the ball.
Ball gets there a lot quicker.
He had sunglasses on, though.
So the Mets have the first base runner, and Brett Baty pokes one up the middle for a base hit. Robert will go first to third. And the Mets have runners at the corners with 1 out. So Baty wasting no time, jumping on the first pitch he sees from Majinski and finding the hole up the middle.
A lot of room up the middle right there. That's where Soto gets a lot of base hits as well. And look at Roberts fly.
Watching Robert Jr. run, he's an elegant player.
I got to remember, too, it's singular, not plural. Robert.
You know who his body type reminds me of? Left-hand hitter, not right-hand hitter. Darryl Boston.
Yeah, so I was going to say that we're thinking the same thing. Chicago White Sox.
And New York Mets. There's Marcus Semien, first and third, 1 out. And Semien first pitch swinging, fouls off the fastball.
And Mets, this lineup's aggressive. They're not wasting any time.
Semien very good at getting that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. 70% is an outstanding number. Pirates looking for the double play on the infield. And Semien drives one out to center. That'll get the run in. Robert will tag. Cruz makes the catch. Robert comes down the line to score, and the Mets tie the game at 1. Cruz catching that ball very casually, and Baty had ideas about tagging at first and going to second.
Very nonchalant. He's got glasses on today.
That's very interesting, isn't it? After he had those 2 balls assail him in the sun with no sunglasses.
Mets have done this whole series. They seem to answer when the Pirates score.
Now Carson Bench with Baty at first and 2 out. Bench is 1 for 6 to start the year. His opening day home run. This was opening day when Cruz let Beatty's ball get over his head.
He didn't lose that one in the sun. He took 2 steps in. This is the one that really hurt.
That was the one hit by Semien. Beatty a very short lead. Majinski is pretty good at controlling the running game. Only 2 steals and 4 tries against him last year.
We showed Cruz, but it was the Gonzalez misplay. I mean, I know it's hit hard, but this is a pitch and catch league. Let's go.
Ground ball right at the shortstop. Triolo bobbles it, recovers, and his throw is not in time. So the Pirates having some defensive issues. Triolo, who has won a Gold Glove as a utility man, commits the error that prolongs the inning.
He wanted to go to second to tag second before he had secured the ball.
Yep. And the Pirates they played abysmally. He did everything right. Hit the heel of his glove. Oh, if a good throw would have had him.
Throwing it away.
He might have been out. The Pirates are challenging the call at first.
Yes.
I think they had him. So this may get overturned and take the error away from Triolo.
Was he on the base?
Ooh,
that's close.
I mean, he had the ball in time. The question is whether his foot stayed on the base long enough.
I don't think it's overturn it though.
Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. Chris Guccione and James Hoy are the crew chiefs in the replay center.
Oh, look at all those people in there. You're gonna make a rock pile in there.
I think his toe was still on the bag, Ronnie.
Yeah. I'm going to say they don't overturn.
I'm going to say they're not going to overturn. That it's not enough.
Bench hustling all the way. Triolo rushing that throw after making the bobble.
Good job though by Horowitz here. Almost comes up with a play.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe.
Yep. You guys are correct.
Not enough. Now, he could have kept his foot on the bag. Oh well.
Second error of the series charged to the Pirates, who have had some more esoteric defensive issues. And 2 men are aboard for Luis Torrens, who had an at-bat in the 10th inning yesterday and delivered a game-tying hit. Set the stage for what looked like it would be a game-winning rally, but the Mets left the bases loaded.
Let's see if they can take advantage.
Majinski pops one in for a strike.
His fastball's down now at 94.
That's what we were saying about his numbers in the bullpen. You know, house of fire, and then can you keep it going for an hour and a half?
I remember Bedrosian. When he came up with the Braves, he started and he threw bullets. And then after the second, third time you faced him, he'd lost so much on his fastball. Then he went to Philadelphia and they put him in as a closer.
And he won a Cy Young. 27-year-old Carmen Majinski ahead on Torrens 0-2. He skips that one in with a slider. Ball and 2 strikes. Mets off to a 2-0 start. First time they've done that since 2022. They won 101 games that year. Torrens keeps the bat alive. Majinski, first-round pick out of the University of South Carolina by the Pirates in 2020.
A lot more drafting out of college than back in my time.
And as a result, a lot of players are getting to the big leagues a lot faster.
Correct.
Oh, on the outside corner, got him looking. And the side retired. 4th strikeout for Majinski. Mets get a run to tie it. It's 1-1.
Brace your taste buds.
Third inning on a sunny day at Citi Field. Temperature right around 50 degrees. Wind is blowing out today. It was blowing in yesterday, which made the Luis Robert walk-off home run even more impressive. He hit right into the teeth of the wind. Neil Cruz leads off and takes curveball for a strike from Nolan McLean. Cruz drew a leadoff walk and scored in the first inning for the Pirates. Mets have now gotten McLean back even. And he gets that changeup in for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Got to get that changeup down. He's thrown a couple that have been up.
Just missed with the backdoor curveball, 1-2. Cruz is now 27 years old. Came up as a shortstop. And now in the second year of it, I guess you'd have to still call it an experiment, making him a center fielder. And it has had mixed results. Ground ball toward the middle of the diamond. Simeon on the backhand, throwing across his body on a hop, and Beatty handles it for the first out. One away, we check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
You know, Gary, I've been waiting for this day for a long time. You're always very critical of my attire. Well, yesterday, if people missed it, we had some fun with your attire. You were wearing a, I don't know, a skull cap. It was like we were going up Mount Everest, the expedition yesterday by you. And, you know, listen, because I'm the junior member of this team, I'm also a little more active on social media. And it wasn't just us who enjoyed your attire yesterday. Some people on Twitter sent this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Miami Steve. Yeah.
That's little Stevie Van Zandt.
Yes.
With Bruce.
That's great. Very nice.
We have one more from the booth, and this to me, as people look to figure out the best form of artificial intelligence, it's things like this.
Yes. Look at the look on my face.
If only I could wear rings like Stevie does.
Oh, gosh.
Wasn't he great in The Sopranos? Oh, he was so
Yes.
good.
Great in everything.
And his radio station
that
is locked in on my car radio. It's all I listen to.
Oh, you love it?
Little
Yeah,
Steven's
so
Underground Garage.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
He walks you through the history of music and history of songs, which I think is so great.
Yeah.
I liked when Dylan had his show. He did it for a couple years with that nasal voice.
2-2 to Brandon Lau. And Lau gets one in the air to deep right field. Bench going back to the warning track at the wall, and it's out of here. Brandon Lau with his third home run of this series. And the Pirates go back in front 2-1. That is the first home run that Nolan McLean has allowed in the major leagues to a left-hand hitter.
You said he was a good fastball hitter, Ronnie.
He's a great fastball hitter, and McLean shook off Torrance twice to get to that pitch.
It went so very late in the pitch clock when he finally delivered this one.
Well, he right down the middle, full extension.
Lau,
right down the pipe.
Lau, pound for pound, might have the best power in baseball. He's not a big man.
That's a fastball that did not run away. It stayed straight.
Chop to the right side, handled by Semien, and he throws out Reynolds 2 away.
Now, the one thing about McLean in the WBC, and it's always hard to judge because, you know, they're throwing bullets in the middle of March. He was victimized by the long ball in the WBC.
And all on the fastball.
Yep.
He gave up 3 home runs in the 2 starts. All came on fastballs. As O'Hearn bounces one off his leg. And that's always the conundrum, right? When you get a guy like McLean who spins the ball as well as he does, what's the proper ratio of fastballs to all those spinning secondary pitches?
Well, I think the other way, Gary. The hitter has got to be honed in that when they get a fastball, McLean, that's over the plate, they cannot miss it.
If he's any great pitcher with a great breaking ball, Gary, I looked fastball, and if I got a fastball in the strike zone, I was not going to let it go by.
Ryan O'Hearn drove in the first Pittsburgh run with a soft single to left. Second RBI in this series. And after coming out throwing 98 early in the game, McLean's been more like 94, 95.
That's plenty.
Second and third inning.
That's plenty.
That's about where he lived last year. He comes inside with that changeup and gets a swinging strike, 2-2.
That's the best one he's thrown. It got it down.
That was his focus in spring training, was refining that kick changeup. Cutter inside, 3-2.
I think here's the home run. We can see right down the pipe. Oh, yes. The one thing that you got to realize, and I think Ronnie will agree, he's working on that pitch, and he's got to realize that's his 3rd pitch. It's not his best pitch if he needs an out.
Laced up the middle, a base hit for O'Hearn. He's 2 for 2. Robert has trouble picking it up, but O'Hearn stops it first. And there's the 3rd Pirate hit.
When McLean throws his fastball, the 2-seamer, 50% of them sink, but 50% of them run vertically. So that one right down, kind of ran right along the length of the bat.
There's a lot of left-hand hitters in this lineup.
Now Jared Triolo, and he takes fastball up and away. Triolo flied out to right his first time up. Triolo is saving a place right now at shortstop for the Pirates. 19-year-old Griffin will be coming up before long as McLean nicks him with a curveball, and the Pirates have 2 men on. Griffin made a splash in spring training as a 19-year-old, hit some home runs early on, but then struggled later in spring training, and they decided to give him some more seasoning. He'll turn 20 in late April.
Look at the season he had at 18 years of age in the minor leagues. That bottom bar there. For a young 18-year-old to do what he did. I mean, on top of that, he had 65 stolen bases, was only caught 13 times, and he walked 50 times, which shows a lot of patience for an 18-year-old. You're just out of high school. He had a terrific minor league season.
Went to Jackson Prep in Mississippi. That's where he's from. And Ryan O'Hearn's on second base with his 2nd hit of the day now. He said that when he looks at Connor Griffin, it looks like someone made him in a lab. I mean, that's how. He's 6'4", 220 pounds.
Yes, he's a big kid. Well, they're all big today.
I mean, the young position players who are coming up to the big leagues right now. I mean, look at the start that J.J. Weatherholt has gotten off to with the Cardinals. We saw him in spring training.
McGonigal for the Tigers.
Yep. Chase DeLauder, 4 home runs in his first 3 games for the Guardians. Spencer Horwitz takes a strike. Only the second player ever to do that. Trevor Story was the only other player to hit 4 home runs in his first 3 regular season big league games. Horwitz flied out to left his first time up. And takes that fastball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Well, Connor Griffin trying to get to the big leagues before 130 minor league games. Like those guys, they all turned out okay. All were in the big leagues as teenagers. And the curveball struck him out. So Horwitz done on strikes. The 4th from McLean, but the Pirates lead 2-1.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Home 3rd inning, Francisco Lindor leads off against Carmen Mlodzinski, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Lindor struck out his first time up. Mlodzinski struck out the side in the first inning. Lindor, Soto, and Bichette. The second time in his career he's ever struck out the side. That's nicked him for a run in the second on a sac fly by Marcus Semien, but Brandon Lau's home run has put Pittsburgh back in front. On the old friends watch, Brandon Nimmo hit a 2-run homer for Texas today against Jesus Luzardo of the Phillies. That'll work for the Mets. Not so good for Brandon Sproat. First start from Milwaukee against the White Sox. First 4 batters of the game. Walk, single, grand slam.
Oh, goodness.
Ouch. Olson Montgomery got him for the grand slam.
Well, that's some Band-Aids.
I think I had a start at Shea Stadium very similar to that. The grand slam home run hit by Mr. Carter.
Oh, really? Remember what he hit?
Yeah, hanging curveball. That's when Rusty hit me in the shin with the bat and said, never throw a curveball, slow curveball to a right-handed power hitter. Got that? Whack with the bat into my shin.
Orange.
Oh, by the way,
what hurt more, the home run or the whack of the bat?
Whack to the shin, 100%.
The great Grand Orange, Rusty, our dear friend. This is the 8th year. He passed away on this date 8 years ago. We miss him so much.
3-2, struck him out. Got him with the fastball up. So Lindor fans for the second time. That's 5 through the first 10 batters for Mlodzinski.
He's got some life upstairs. He's got a little lower release, so that ball up in the strike zone,
he throws hard.
Seems to rise. I mean,
you see Lindor's uppercut. You can't catch up to that pitch. You let her high.
So 1 out here, Soto, who struck out his first time up, and he fouls off first pitch fastball. Soto's strikeout came after the Pirates were able to get an overturn on the automatic ball strike system for the first strike. And that curveball, he holds the swing and stopped it in time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
This guy could go 9 innings like this. We had 20-game winner back in the day. He's got what an arsenal.
This is only his 18th major league start. He's been used primarily as a reliever in the big leagues. Started last year in the rotation, got sent down, came back as a reliever.
That's right, Gary. He started in the rotation, made 9 starts, did not do well, and sent down to AAA.
They say he's throwing his splitter more, but I think he's been pretty equal with all of his pitches so far in this start.
Soto shaking his hands after that last swing. And the curveball fouled at the plate.
Hung that one up there. Juan got a little out too quick.
Keithy, in yesterday's game or today's game, you still never wore any gloves, right?
Wow. I didn't like it. I couldn't get the grip. I always got the bat with thin handle, and I got the handle with my bare hands, and made it thicker with the gloves.
But even when it was cold, you didn't feel as if you needed
to
it.
just focus that much more, Gare, to barrel it up on the barrel.
So it's all about focus when things get tough. Kind of like in this job.
No, it's like bearing down.
Good splitter, and he strikes him out. So Soto is fed for a second time.
This is impressive. I would love to see that pitch again. And strike out Juan Soto. I mean, Juan strikes out 100 times, but oh, look at the splitter.
Struck him out on the splitter the first time, and he gets him on the same pitch.
Oh, that's a beautiful pitch.
You know, the splitter, when you can see some daylight between the fingers, that means he's got it out on the fingertips. That's more like the hard split finger, not the forkball.
That's what
takes a curveball for a strike.
When Bruce Sutter came up with the splitter and no one had seen it before, that's how he got people out. Just like that. That knee high, and it breaks out of the strike zone.
6 strikeouts for Carmen Mlodzinski, matches his career high. We're only in the 3rd inning. He's ahead on Bichette in 2. Bichette would foul away the fastball. Well, he struck out the top 3 hitters in the order in the 1st inning and trying to do the same again in the 3rd. So far, the Mets have gotten more from the middle and bottom of their order in the first 2+ games than they have from the top 3. Faced Mlodzinski in relief last year. He threw 3 2/3 scoreless innings against them in Pittsburgh. And he gets Bichette for a second time, and for the second time in 3 innings, Mlodzinski strikes out the top 3 in the order. A career high 7 Ks through 3. Fourth inning, 2-1 Pirates. Nick Gonzalez leads off against Nolan McLean and fouls the sinker at the plate. 0-1. Lower third of the order for the Pirates in the fourth. Gonzalez, Davis, and Mangum against McLean, who's given up 2 runs and 3 hits, including a home run to Brendan Lau. That has the Pirates in front. Gonzalez was called out on strikes his first time up, 4 for 11 to start the year.
Oh!
Stayed inside, a ball and strike. Nolan McLean's first start of 2026. We mentioned he's still eligible for Rookie of the Year honors this year. If you pitch more than 50 innings, you become ineligible. He's through 48. And if the Mets had made it to the postseason last year, he was going to be their Game 1 starter. We'll tap her back to the mound, and McLean makes the play, 1 away. I mean, the Mets were struggling so mightily with their starting pitching, with injuries and ineffectiveness. And then McLean came along, and he was the guy who boosted the rest of that rotation coming down the stretch.
I mean, McLean, Tom, Sproat, all were brought up because you had to bring them up. The Mets needed it.
Henry Davis, the batter. And he lifts one out to center. Robert battling the sun, using his hand. And it works. 2 out.
Nice.
I mean, a lot of people want to make the argument that the Mets might have made it to the postseason had they brought up McLean earlier. But there's no telling that if they brought him up earlier, he would have been ready to dominate the way that he did.
I mean, this is all planned. You get a pitcher to a point, innings-wise and mentally ready to handle it.
So Monday morning quarterbacking.
Yeah, there's plenty of them out there now. Well, there always was plenty of them. You just hear from them now.
Exactly. Everybody's got a megaphone.
That's right.
Well, we do too.
Yeah.
Curveball in for a strike. Well, we have a slightly larger megaphone, but everybody's got at least a small megaphone. It's like a bunch of Rudy Valleys.
Rudy Valley.
0-2 to Jake Mangum, who struck out his first time up. And he goes down swinging on a good changeup by McLean.
That was the best one.
5 strikeouts in the first 4 innings for Nolan. 2-1 Pirates.
Slice so.
Majinski has been the story in this game so far.
Boy, he has really showed a great arsenal, like Keith has said. Fastball has some movement upstairs. He's got that good split against the left-handers, and he's shown a real good curveball a couple times. And at last, at bat against Bichetti, kind of blew him away.
He strikeouts in just 3 innings.
Oh, but struck out twice the top of the order. 1, 2, 3 twice. That's a feat.
Jorge Polanco leads off the home fourth and takes first pitch fastball outside. Polanco grounded out to first base his first time up. Robert and Beatty to follow. Curveball fouled off. 1-1. Polanco is a switch hitter who has been pretty consistent from both sides of the plate across his career.
But he's been like in the 260s both sides of the plate. With power both sides.
26 home runs last year with the Mariners. And 2 more in the postseason. Take it low, 2-2.
Good eye right there.
2 home runs against Tarek Skubal, if memory serves.
I mean, he's one of the few hitters that gets him.
And he had that 15th inning walk-off hit in the deciding game against the Tigers. And he works the count full. Polanco, who is not known as a particularly patient hitter, has been that so far this year. 5 walks in the first 2 games. And he pulls one on the ground. Second baseman Lau is in front of it. 1 away.
You know, I was thinking about one of the things he does before he delivers the ball to the plate. The stick. If you're the hitter, you're going to end up seeing almost all of his number before he delivers the baseball. That is one of those things you can mechanically do to keep you closed long enough to not only hide the ball, but to throw the ball where you want to.
Why does staying closed allow you to have better control?
Well, because staying closed allows you to get the ball outside to the right-handed hitters or inside to the left-handed hitters.
Little poke into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit for Robert. So Luis Robert, after his heroics last night, is 2 for 2.
But Gary, the more open you are, the more the ball is going to sail on you, and the more open you are, is that it's going to take away 80% of your power. You've got to stay closed. That's where you get your power.
It's just
closed, and then you unwind.
It's the same principle of hitting. You got to keep your front shoulder in. You can't fly out.
Tying run at first with 1 out. There's Brett Beatty, who had a base hit his first time up, and he takes a splitter down for ball 1. Beatty has single up the middle. He's now 3 for 10 to start the year. Robert's a base stealer.
Not a big lead.
33 last year with the White Sox in only 110 games. Beatty bluffing a bunt with the third baseman playing back and off the line. 2-0.
Mets haven't really tried to steal bases yet this season. Only Beatty's the only one with a stolen base. I'm sure they're a little bit worried. They want to keep Robert on the field.
He is due to have a day off tomorrow. Carlos Mendoza has said he doesn't want to play more than 3 or 4 days in a row, and that gives him a chance to get Beatty out to right field. He's let Benj play some center field. 3-0 now to Beatty. Taking all the way, 3-1.
I just like what Beatty did right there. 3-0. Take it like you're going to hit it. So you're not going to swing, but you stride like you're going to hit, and then you can just watch the ball, get a good look at the pitch.
He got a 3-1 breaking ball and took it for a strike. Full count. 3-0 fastball counts.
No, but that's pitching at this level. You have to have the ability to spin a ball when you're behind in the count.
3-2, 1 out. See if Robert runs. Jenski checks in on him.
Guys are throwing harder than ever and throwing less fastballs than ever.
He's going to run here.
He goes, and Beatty hits it up the middle. He's got his second hit, and Robert will go first to third. Cut off by Cruz. Robert holds at third. Brett Beatty is 2 for 2. So the guys in the middle of the order, Robert and Beatty, getting the job done. Back-to-back hits in the second and now again in the fourth.
Very impressive. Quick bat, fastball. He didn't want to walk. Got it out of the middle. He wanted to get it away. And just came right down the middle.
Good try by Lau. But one of my favorite baseball plays has been and always will be. Base hit and the guy goes first to third.
And Robert going on the pitch. He had signs about thinking about scoring.
Well, he was running hard enough that if Cruz bobbled that just for an instant, he would have been sent by Tim Leeper.
We've seen a couple of times already in this game. Cruz plays a very casual center field.
Yep.
So now Semien, who drove in the first Met run with a sacrifice fly, gets another opportunity. Robert at third, Beatty at first, and Semien takes first pitch fastball for a strike.
Interesting.
Gary, give that number again. What was Semien last year with guys on?
70%.
Wow.
Major League average is 51%. He led the American League in sacrifice flies last year with 9. And he's got his first of the year today. Ball and strike.
I'd like to know what your average was throughout your career. Guy on third, less than 2 outs. Be nice.
We can probably find out.
Yeah.
I bet you it's 300.
Chopped foul off his foot.
It was probably 300, but I meant more your percentage of getting the run.
He was like 96%. In the absence of any hard data,
that's right.
That's what we're going with.
Prove me wrong.
So sacrifice fly getting him in.
Oh, just so you know, he's 70% getting the runner in from third with less than 2 outs. I would love to know your number. It's got to be extremely.
We'll find out. Dave will do some digging.
Maybe I'll.
Majinski ahead 1-2, and Semien goes down on strikes. A high fastball from Majinski for his 8th strikeout of the day.
Up and in, and riding in. That is a good pitch.
He hides that ball pretty good.
So now 2 out. It's left to Carson Bench, who reached on an error his first time up. Robert faking down the line at third as Bench fouls back the fastball, and a good cut at that. 0-1. Carson Bench 1 for 7 to start his big league career. One was his opening day home run. Now looking to get the Mets even with the tying run at third and 2 out.
I remember in game 2, the manager for Dan Kelly pulled a very effective Mitch Keller with only 77 pitches.
The bullpen is already cranking for the Pirates, with Majinski at 74 pitches in the 4th inning. But away, 2 balls and a strike to Ben. Carson lifts one out to left. Easing back is Mangum, and he puts it away to retire the side. 2 hits, 2 left after 4. 2-1 Pittsburgh.
I'm Barry Colstein. I am a
Nolan McLean back out for a 5th inning of work. It's been a bit of a battle for him this afternoon so far. But Gary, as you mentioned earlier on the broadcast, in his young career, he's had a remarkable ability to limit damage and get himself out of trouble. And speaking with Nolan about it, he said that I have this ultimate self-belief, and when I'm in trouble on the mound, in my mind, I'm always thinking it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before I make a pitch. I just keep believing I'm going to make a pitch right here. Even if I have zero feel for any of my pitches, I know that I'm good enough to find it at some point again in a start. It looked like he found it a little bit more in that 4th inning.
Starts off O'Neill Cruz with a changeup as he starts his 3rd time around the batting order. So first time he started him with a fastball, second time with a curveball, this time with the changeup.
He's thrown more than a few of the change, Ronnie.
Changeups.
You know, sometimes it's easy to forget that Nolan McLean has only been a starting pitcher for a couple of years at best, and we're going to get a challenge here
From Torrens.
No, I think
it's from the hitter. It was
the hitter?
Right.
Okay. My
he
mistake.
thought it went around the plate.
It's a strike.
We'd be on the bench going, wham.
So the Pirates lose that challenge. See, that's not a good leverage situation.
No.
Leading off an inning. So the Pirates down to 1 challenge remaining. And that's where you have to trust your players and know which players you can trust, especially the hitters. That good curveball by McLean to strike out Cruz. That's his 6th strikeout of the day. 1 out of the 5th.
He had him befuddled.
No.
He had a backdoor breaking ball that was called a strike with the ABS, and now he throws a down and in breaking ball, and that's one of those that we talked about before that drops 19 inches. RPM of 3,200.
Here's Brandon Lau, whose home run put the Pirates in front in the 3rd inning, his 3rd home run in this series. Another first pitch changeup for ball 1.
Fastball. That one didn't run away. And like Ronnie said, one of the best fastball hitters in the game. He's getting a feel for it, Ron. That off-speed pitch.
Now is a little bit like when we played with Hojo. Just you can't get a fastball by him.
Little blooper behind 3rd, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Rolling away from Bichette, who tracks it down, makes the throw to 2nd, and Lau is safe. He got around the tag.
Nice hustle. Lau can run. He was motoring around for first base. A little motor scooter. That is good hustle right there. No, he got in. Did he stay on?
That's not challenging.
He showed some speed here. It surprised me.
You can hear people on the field yelling 2-2-2 to let Bichette know where he's going to have to throw that ball.
Here, did he stay on? Oh, he sure did.
Loop double from Lau puts him at 2nd with 1 out. Ryan Reynolds is 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd. Pirates in the first 2 games of this series were 3 for 25 with runners in scoring position. In fact, yesterday was something of an historic game. It was the first game the Mets had ever won in 11 innings or less where the opposition left 17 runners on base.
Oh my gosh.
Ever. That fastball misses high, and now McLean behind Reynolds 3-0. Here's the breakdown on McLean's usage last year. It's been about the same today.
Yeah, 41% of the time last year he was spinning the baseball. I think the changeup usage would be up today, if any.
Oscar Brazoban up in the Mets bullpen. And another fastball on a 3-1 pitch for a strike. Cutter there, 3-2. See if change-up usage up a little bit. But the fastball usage about the same. 3-2 to Reynolds. And the curveball in there for a call, strike 3.
That might have broke around the plate.
7 strikeouts from McLean, 2 down.
Good backdoor curve. Let's see if it had the corner. Yeah, that's too close to take.
See, now if Cruz had not spent that challenge earlier in the inning, maybe Reynolds challenges that ball. That's where the team aspect of the challenge system comes into play.
See, I thought it was a ball. I thought it curved around.
So now Ryan O'Hearn is 2 for 2 today. Looped a single to left to drive in a run on the first, single to right center in the third. And a knee-high fastball for a strike, 1-1.
The collateral damage of your individual choice with the ABS.
I mean, you could see where the ABS system could create some disharmony within a team.
Yes, it could.
I also think there's going to be some hard discussions between a manager and some players, hitters, and just say, hey, listen, no, you're not allowed.
But I mean, if you're Reynolds, that has to factor in, right? You know that you've only lost 1 challenge in this inning. If I lose this one, we're done for the game.
Correct.
1-2 to O'Hearn. Struck him out. Got him with the curveball. 3 strikeouts in the inning from McLean. 8 in the first 5. Works around the double by Lau. Halfway through, it's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Home 5th inning, Luis Torrens leads off against Carmen Majinski. Majinski has struck out 8 over the first 4 innings. Nolan McLean has struck out 8 over the first 5. Majinski with a 2-1 lead. Got Torrens looking his first time up. He fouls off a sinker, 1-1. Your 4th, 5th inning recap. Brandon Lau's home run, the difference in the game.
It's 2 pitchers duels back-to-back here.
Lindor and Soto to follow. And the curveball hit to short. Triolo playing it off to the side.
That is
not the way they teach it.
That is a lot of da. You don't want to do that. Get in front, 2 hands. You just look at it off to the side. They're teaching that here. I just disagree.
I don't think they teach that for shortstops.
I don't. I just see so many infielders fielding off to the side, and that is, it takes a bad hop. It's in the outfield.
Lindor drives one to the gap in right center, headed back toward the wall, and it's off the fence. Lindor heads to second. He's going to take the turn. He's going to try for three. The relay throw by Lau to third, and he's safe. Lindor with his first hit of the year, and it's a one-out triple to put the tying run at third.
Really good hustle on Lindor's part. Ball took a funky carom off the wall.
Yeah, off the chain link here.
Yep, and that's what did it right there.
Made O'Hearn have to change direction.
And Lindor read that as he was rounding second, getting close to second.
Lindor did not have a single triple last year. And now his first hit of this season is a three-base hit. The Pirates will bring the infield in to face Soto. Wong takes up and away, ball one. Once he saw that ball take that carom, that's when he turned on the jets and decided to go for three. Infield in all the way around. Soto struck out his first two at bats. In fact, the Mets 1, 2, and 3 hitters struck out each of their first two at bats.
Just got in ahead of the tag. Little Pete Rose, the head first slide.
That's a good pitch, by the way. So, I just got this note. Mlodzinski struck out the first three hitters in the order, each of their first two times up. It's the first time in Mets history they've had a game where the top three hitters struck out each of their first two at bats. Ever.
Oh, good
curve by Mlodzinski, and it's 2-2. I mean, think about that. 65 years. Never happened.
It's always good to see how these pitchers react in pressure situations with the game on the line. Do they make the pitches?
Struck out Soto twice already. He's got him 2-2. And Soto pulls one into right field. Coming over O'Hearn. He won't get it. Base hit. Lindor in to score the tying run. Juan Soto drives in his second run of the season. And the Mets get back even again. It's 2-2.
Hung the breaking ball there. Threw a good one for strike two. Tried to want to do it again. And he left it out over the plate and up.
So the third time around is the charm for the guys at the top of the order. After Mlodzinski got them the first two times, Lindor triples, Soto singles him home to get the Mets even, and that'll be all for Mlodzinski.
And there's the hanger right there, right down the pipe.
So Mlodzinski, who was so dominant first two times through the order, is out after 4 1/3. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com.
This is the all-new redesign.
CarShield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action anytime on any device, free with eligible TV subscriptions. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. Mets have gotten even for the second time in this game. That's 4 times in the last 7 innings that the Mets have come from behind to at least tie. Yohan Ramirez, former Met, will be on the pitch.
Yeah, he started on the roster to 2024 with the Mets. Ramirez did. This is his 8th team in the major leagues.
Yeah, he went 2 1/3. Came in relief of Skeens and going to give up 1 hit and no runs. Opening day.
The only hit he gave up was a little soft ground ball off his glove. To Marcus Semien. Comes in to face Bo Bichette with Soto at first and 1 out. Soto getting a big lead, did not go, and it's on the outside corner, a strike. Soto was getting one of those walking leads that he became so adept at last year. There's a challenge on the call.
Strike.
He's challenging it, but it's a strike. So each team has now lost a challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
They're not giving the Bichette that right side of the infield. Look at the second baseman.
Ball and a strike to Bichette. So Majinski went 4 1/3. Through 85 pitches, gave up 6 hits, didn't walk a batter, struck out a career high 8. And leaves in a 2-2 game that he cannot win, but could lose. Bichette with a big swing. On the breaking ball by Ramirez, 1-2.
Ramirez kind of has a whipping action in his throw, doesn't he, Ronnie?
Long arm action.
Bichette has already struck out 6 times in his first 11 at bats of the year. He's not in any kind of groove right now. Pokes that one to the right side. Ramirez off the mound, able to handle it cleanly and takes it to the bag for the second out. Reminiscent of the hit he gave up to Semien the other day, where the ball went off his glove. This time he held it cleanly.
I mean, he fielded that like he had a frying pan instead of a glove.
It was an odd way to field that ball. Odd way to field it.
They are with 2 strikes just coming in.
Yep, tied him up. Inside out, jammed him.
So gets the go-ahead run into scoring position with 2 out for Jorge Polanco. And he takes a slider down for ball 1. Polanco's been up twice, grounded out to the right side both times. And that one spins in for a strike. It's 1-1. Ramirez in his second year with the Pirates. He was in 24 games for them last year. In 24, he not only pitched for the Mets, but for the Orioles, the Dodgers, and the Red Sox. 4 teams in 1 season. He's been everywhere, man.
I've been everywhere, man.
Right arm will travel.
It would appear as though McLean is done for the day. Brazoban getting ready. 84 pitches through 5 for Nolan. And a swing and a miss and a back foot slider. And Ramirez gets a couple of big outs to keep the game tied after the Mets get even on Soto's hit. The road ahead presented by Infiniti. Mets' first road trip begins tomorrow night in St. Louis. 3 with the Cardinals, 4 with the Giants. And then they come home to play Arizona to start the next homestand. For more on the Cardinals coming up, let's check in with Steve.
Well, it is a very different look for the Cardinals right now. For the first time in as long as we can remember, they are officially doing a full rebuild under new president of baseball operations, Chaim Bloom. This offseason, he traded away veterans Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, Brendan Donovan, and Wilson Contreras. Brought in a lot of youth. For the first time since 1944, all 8 position players on opening day were under the age of 30 with the Cardinals. Now, that 1944 team, they went on to win the World Series. Doubtful that is going to happen here as Brazoban induces a ground out from Triolo for the first out. If the Cardinals season goes the way many expect, it could be the first time that they have back-to-back losing seasons in full seasons since the mid-50s, something we've talked about a bunch of times here already.
And one of the young, talented shortstops in the game, and Mason Wynn. Yep. Weather Holt is another one of those young players you were talking about, Gary.
That 1944 team also had Stan Musial.
Popped up behind third base. Bichette retreating. Backpedaling to make the catch. The retired Spencer Horwitz, 2 out. So Brazoban, who got 2 outs on 4 pitches yesterday, gets his first 2 outs on 3 pitches today.
He's really come into his own.
You know, just thinking about Steve's report, how about Chaim Bloom? First general manager job he gets, he's got to get rid of Mookie Betts in Boston. And then this one with St. Louis.
Yeah. Well, it's how you start from scratch and, you know, build back up. They've got some good young talent. Grounded foul by Nick Gonzalez. The guy who was supposed to be their leadoff hitter this year, Lars Nootbaar, is on the injured list. Probably going to miss the first 2 months with a heel injury, and that's why Weatherholt is leading off.
Oh, look
who's up in the bullpen. Sean Minaya, who got bumped from the rotation coming out of spring, getting ready for his first appearance of the season. And a very quick inning for Huascar Brazoban. He throws 5 pitches and gets him out 1, 2, 3. Nicely done. Still 2-2.
Slice.
Bo Bichette on the bench for the Mets. Saw Bo out early today working on his throwing from third base.
Well, it's interesting. Both teams had hit. So it's not like you think in terms of coming out early. You come out before people hit. He came out after the Pirates had hit and was taking ground balls at third base and throwing across the diamond. And you know, he's made 3 throws so far this year that have run into the base runner in front of the base, and Polanco had to make the tag. so they're working on him to bring it over. I had the same issue with Hojo, but Hojo always had a great arm and always threw sidearm. So his ball had a big sink, and he would throw it into the runner. And I just finally said, Hojo, I'm going to put my glove hand out into the right field side of the bag. Just focus on my glove, and your ball will sink right to me. And then I also had to say, Hojo, just get it close. I'll make the play. I can't make the play if it's 20 feet up the line. I mean, just get it close. I'll relax.
I'll drop some gold on it if I have to.
His ball forward to Robert. And so the Mets have a leadoff base runner. Luis Robert on base 3 straight times today after his heroics last night.
And I will say, Hojo got past it, and he made accurate throws.
It's the first time all day the Mets have gotten the leadoff man on. I just harken back to our old friend Ralph Kiner. When Hojo was having his throwing problems, he finally made a good throw to first base, and the crowd at Shea Stadium gave him a mock standing ovation. And Ralph says on the air, there hasn't been so much talk about a lack of an arm since the Venus de Milo.
Ralph. Ralph. Ouch. Ralph. It wasn't so much that Hojo had a lack of an arm. Hojo had a cannon.
Yeah. It's the accuracy.
He was just a shotgun.
Brett Beatty's 2 for 2. There goes Robert. The throw to second by Davis. A good throw, and he got him.
Wow.
Triolo with the tag, and Robert is caught stealing one away.
Good pop time by Davis. Watch him come up quick. That is perfect. Just a little bit of a bled, a little bit into the runner.
So 1 out and nobody on, 1 and 2 to Beatty. And a swing and a miss, and Beatty will take off from first. Davis's throw is on target. 2 out. So a 2-3 put out after the strikeout. Second strikeout for Yohan Ramirez in relief.
It's got a good breaking ball. I hit him.
Oh, it hit him.
Yes, that's what I thought. And then it hit the umpire in the mask. And he swung.
Yeah, good call by Malone. He was right on it.
Can't go to first base on a dead ball. Once it hits you, the ball is dead. So 2 out and nobody on. Here's Marcus Semien, who drove in the first bed run with the sac fly, and then he struck out in the 4th. 0 for 1. Ramirez worked 2 1/3 on opening day. He's already gone an inning and a third in this outing. The way pitching is structured in baseball these days, the value of a multi-inning relief pitcher is just exaggeratedly high.
Well, they got away from it with La Russa and Bobby Cox using the 1 inning for all the bullpen. And gosh, they said that Bobby could run through a bullpen.
I mean, it feels as though if you're going to try and cover 1,400 plus innings over the course of a season, you are best off having 13 starting pitchers on your staff. And went around in a half swing 2 and 2. You know, if everybody can go 2 or 3 innings at a time, then you got a better shot at covering all those innings.
Very few guys can go 2 or 3 innings. That's the problem.
Two coming, and it's hit off the end of the bat to shallow left. Coming in on it is Mangum, and he puts it away to retire the side. We played 6 on a Sunday in New York. Mets and Pirates tied at 2.
New Cologuard.
Seventh inning, Huáscar Brazoban, who got the side out on 5 pitches in the 6th inning, stays around for the 7th as Sean Manaea continues to loosen in the bullpen. Facing Henry Davis leading off the 7th. And he jammed him with that fastball. Brazoban has now thrown 11 pitches this year, all strikes. And he's got 5 outs. And he's ahead on Davis 0-2. I mean, his confidence has always been an issue. And it's never been at a higher ebb than it is right now. Off his experience in the World Baseball Classic.
You know, I talked with Tommy Hutton. He was with the Marlins, Brazoban, and Tommy Hutton said he's an announcer, of course, for the Marlins all these years. And he just said he was the 13th, 12th man on the pitching staff, and they just didn't pay any attention to him. He was like a lost soul there. He came over here and they gave him some love.
He's returning it. I mean, especially getting off to a quick start.
By the way, speaking of love, I want to show some love to our old friend Dom Smith.
Yes.
See what he did yesterday? First plate appearance, first game for his new team, the Atlanta Braves. He gets a walk-off grand slam. And that just missed outside with a cutter. And we didn't know this. Nobody knew it until after the game. Dom told everybody that his mom had passed away 2 weeks ago. And this was his first plate appearance, first game after his mom passed away. That's driven toward the gap in left center. Moving back is Soto, and he makes the grab.
I can picture it like it was yesterday. Remember when he was drafted and he came to Citi Field with his mom and they held the press conference?
Well, I'm just happy to see him doing well.
Don was a sweetheart.
He is he's one of the all-time greats. One out and nobody on that. Jake Mangum, who struck out his first 2 at-bats against Nolan McLean. There's your high-speed hitting today. Carson Bench on a ground ball to shortstop has the hardest hit ball of the day. Haven't seen a lot of 110 plus the last couple of days. Off Brazoban deflects out to Lindor. The high throw to first, and he got him. Mangum thinks he was safe. Clemens called him out. We'll see if the Pirates challenge the call. They've already lost 1 challenge in this game. Nope, not going to challenge.
They got him. He's out.
Was certainly out.
Oh boy!
Beatty had it cleanly, which he did.
Beatty snow cone that throw. That's nice stretch.
But that's going to be all for Brazoban. Sean Manaea is going to come in to face O'Neal Cruz. So Brazoban goes 5 up and 5 down to keep this game tied. And now Manaea will make his season debut coming out of the pen. SNL veteran Keenan Thompson is on hand.
So good. He's hilarious.
Go back to his days with Kel, Keenan and Kel. That's one of my kids' favorite shows growing up. Sean Manaea bumped from the rotation because the Mets had 6 guys for 5 slots, and now coming out of the bullpen.
And he may go more than 1 inning, Gary. This is the top of the order. Then there's 4 straight left-hand hitters, although, I'm sorry, 3 out of 4. Reynolds is a switch hitter.
So this was the pocket that they chose for Manaea. O'Neill Cruz today 0 for 2 and a walk, scored a run back in the first. Facing Manaea for the first time. And the first pitch sweeper misses for ball 1. Sean's velocity was down during spring training. That probably more than anything else is what cost him a spot in the rotation. He pops that fastball in at 90. 2-0.
O'Neill off left-handers last year hit slightly above 100 with around 110 at bats approximately. He had 11 hits.
He sat him against a lefty yesterday. See, there's an 88-mile-an-hour fastball from Manaea. And this is the concern. When he was successful 2 years ago, he was throwing 93, 94. That's lined into right field, and Cruz has a hit off a left-hander. And that'll put the go-ahead run on base with 2 out.
I can just see the internet right now blaming me for that hit. Got the barrel on it.
Keith, if your words could make it happen, you wouldn't be in this job.
Well, they do. They give it to you all the time.
It's just fine. Here's Brandon Lowe's having quite a day. A walk, a home run, and a bloop double. Cruz a threat to run, and Manaea checks in on him, and Cruz awkwardly gets back. When you're 6'7", it's hard to get your body down to get back to first base. He towers over Brett Beatty, who is not a short guy.
No. Beatty's like 6'3", all 6'3", 6'4".
Lau 0 for 7 in his career against Manaea. He's got 3 home runs in this series. And a second throw, and that one goes awry, and Cruz will go to second.
He hustles. It was a balk. I thought he didn't step over enough.
They did not call a balk, but it is an error on Manaea, moving that go-ahead run into scoring position.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to come more over the first base, don't you?
100%.
A very uneven beginning for Sean Manaea. Single, now a throwing error. And Lau takes fastball for a strike.
Keep the ball away from this man. He's been pulling off the left-handers.
Sweeper. Did he hold the swing? He did. Ball and a strike.
It's just shades of John Candelaria. Many nightmares I had over that man. That sidearm delivery, a lefty-lefty matchup. Oh, wicked.
There's a nice sweeper. Got the swinging strike, and it's 1-2. The stalwart for the Mets in 2024. Dropped his arm angle. He was brilliant coming down the stretch in the postseason. Got hurt last year. Never hit his stride. 1-2 coming to Lau, and it's hit sharply, but Semien able to grab it at the midsection and throws him out. Marcus Semien, 2-time Gold Glover, and he handles that ground ball to keep this game tied.
Got in front of it.
Tomorrow.
We go to the bottom of the 7th in a 2-2 game. Pittsburgh Pirates with such a rich history over 144 years, and one of their all-time greats passed away recently. Right-handed reliever Elroy Face, just a little guy, but he had a great forkball.
Yes, 5'8", 155 pounds. He was led the league in saves 3 times.
There with Al McBean. And there's Elroy.
And it's
went 18-1 in 1959.
King. 18-1 with a 2.70 in 57 games. He had in 1960 in the World Series that they beat the Yankees. He had another 2.90 ERA with 68 appearances. He was a good one.
I mean, great forkball. The forkball was
a new pitch.
Very rare pitch.
A new pitch.
Anyone had ever thrown.
Right.
He and Lindy McDaniel.
Lindy was a youth through sidearm. Cubs and the Cardinals.
Yankees too.
He was a good pitcher.
You guys are with me, right? The Pittsburgh Pirates uniform is a beautiful uniform.
I like it.
Great uniform. The colors are fantastic, and what I like is that all the teams in Pittsburgh have the same color scheme.
That's Harvey Haddix on the right. What a wonderful man. He was in the 70s pitching coach for the Pirates.
1959, Harvey Haddix threw a perfect game for 12 innings against the Milwaukee Braves and then lost it in the 13th. Mason Montgomery, hard-throwing lefty, is in for the Pirates to face Carson Bench, and he swings and misses at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-1.
Montgomery came over from Tampa with Mangum and who am I missing?
Lau.
Yeah.
He had trouble throwing strikes on opening day. Walked 3 batters over an inning and a third and gave up 2 runs. It'll be Bench, Torrens, and Lindor for the Mets, trying to break this tie in the bottom of the 7th. Carson's 0 for 2 today, and he swings and misses another fastball. Now, interestingly, in the game yesterday, when the lefty came in the 7th inning, Carlos Mendoza did not bat for Bench. And Montgomery blows him away. And then in the 10th inning, when the same situation came up, he sent up Vientos to hit for Bench, and Vientos got a hit that led to the tying run. And the way that Carlos explained it was that in the 7th inning, much as today, he would have had to make 2 moves, right? If Vientos comes up, gets on, now you got to run for Vientos. Said it was a little different in the 10th when they already had something cooking. Call strike to Torrens, 0-1. But that's a hard needle to thread if you're a manager. You're trying to instill confidence in a young player in his first few games in the major leagues. How do you decide whether you bat for him in certain spots?
And, you know, I was pinch hit for when I was young against a left-hander, and rightly so, by Red Shandies. And, you know, when you're young, it hurts. You don't have faith in me.
It hurts, but I think that as a manager, your job is to do the best move.
Swinging bunt by Torrens, and he'll beat it out for an infield hit. Much like the go-ahead hit for the Pirates last night by Brian Reynolds in the 11th inning. Torrens able to keep that ball fair, and he's aboard.
Well placed.
They just don't go foul anymore. You got to play them.
The third baseman plays so deep that even a guy who doesn't run well like Torrens is going to be able to beat that out. So now the go-ahead run at first for Lindor, batting right-handed for the first time today, and he takes a big cut. Lindor picked up his first hit of the season in the 5th inning, a triple to right center, after going all of last year without a 3-base hit.
Montgomery had a hard time throwing strikes the first outing on opening day, and it looks like a different pitcher. He went 1 in the 3rd and gave up 2 runs, a hit, and 3 walks.
If he can throw strikes, he's going to be very hard to beat. He's got a dominant stuff from the left side. Lindor lines one the other way. That's down for a base hit. Torrens pulls it at second, and Francisco Lindor has his second hit of the day. Now the Mets have 2 on with 1 out.
Now starting to heat up. Francisco.
balls inside. I always think Francisco is tougher out from the right side of the plate, but he has more power from the left side, much more dangerous. He's still very dangerous right-handed.
So now Juan Soto drove in the tying run with a base hit in the 5th. Trying to get that lead run home from second, and he fouls off that first pitch fastball at 99.
That was a big cut, too, Ronnie.
So in his first 5 years as a Met, Francisco Lindor had a total of 2 hits in the month of March. He's got 2 hits today. Renz at second, not a fast runner. Soto fouls it away, and it's 0-2.
Well, here's the base hit that tied the ball game. Hanging slider that Juan ripped into right field.
Mets have never led in this game. They were down 1-0 and 2-1 after coming from behind twice in extra innings last night. And Soto drills one foul. This guy ahead of that fastball.
One thing, Montgomery is right over the top, Gary, and he's not a real hard thrower, but he's not a blazer. When you come directly over the top, it's a straight fastball. It's pretty true.
25-year-old out of Texas Tech. A.J. Ramos, Texas Tech?
Yes, there you go.
0-2 coming. And the slider knocked down nicely by Davis.
I'll say.
Davis has really improved from his rookie season when catching was a difficult thing for him. That takes a wicked bounce. Looks like a bounce out of a shoe mark in the batter's box.
Renz at second, Lindor at first with 1 out. And Soto lays off another slider. It's 2-2. Soto struck out his first 2 at-bats today against Carmen Majinski, who fanned 8 over 4 1/3. And got the base hit his last time up. And now he takes another one in the dirt. Torrens takes off for third. He'll make it safely, and Lindor behind him into second. Great dirt ball read by Torrens. And the wild pitch puts runners at second and third.
No, you can't get that breaking ball over.
Who better to get a dirt ball read than a catcher? He knows how difficult that pitch was.
Now the infield comes in, and Soto fouls off the high slider to stay in the at-bat.
Now, see, you saw Lindor had to check and make sure Torrens was running.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming to Soto. And he tries to hold, but he went around on the high fastball for a strike 3. Third time today Soto's been fanned, and that time on a pitch way out of the zone. 2 out.
Up and in, out of the strike zone. Yeah, he did.
So it's left to Bo Bichette. Pirates drop the infield back. Bichette's 0 for 3 today, 1 for 12 to start the year, and he swings and misses at a first pitch slider, 0-1.
Left-handers from Pittsburgh have been giving him a steady diet of breaking balls down and in.
Back foot.
Bichette's already struck out 6 times through his first 12 at bats of the year. He's such a master over the course of his career at hitting with runners in scoring position. He is just not locked in right now.
So every time they've gotten it with 2 strikes, or a lot of times in this series, they've come up and in with fastballs and then back to a slider, especially the left-handers. Let's see if he does that or stays with the slider.
Blew him away with a fastball at 100 miles an hour. So after getting in trouble, Montgomery strikes out Soto and Bichette back-to-back to keep it tied. Mason Montgomery after striking out Bo Bichette to strand 2 in scoring position. And now Sean Manaea back to the mound for the 8th inning of the tie game to face 3, 4, and 5 in the Pirates batting order. Ryan Reynolds 0 for 3 today, batting right-handed for the first time today, and he hooks the sweeper down the line, foul. Reynolds, O'Hearn, and Triolo against Manaea, who gave up a hit to O'Neill Cruz before getting Brandon Lau on a ground out to get the Mets through the 7th. Nolan McLean went the first 5, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts in his season debut. Oscar Brazovan retired 5 in a row. Manaea 0-2, and he got him looking. Good pass ball up in the zone to get Reynolds 1 out. Let's check in with the studio, see what's coming up on the post-game show with Gary Apple, Jerry Blevins, and Todd Zeal.
All right, Gary, coming up just a little bit, going to take an in-depth look. We'll have in-depth analysis here of Nolan McLean's first start of the season for the Mets, and now we'll see if they can pull out a great rally like they did yesterday.
All right, Gary, Ryan O'Hearn takes the sweeper out of the strike zone. O'Hearn has 2 of the Pirates' 5 hits today, and he waves at the sweeper, and it's 1-1. O'Hearn has a higher career OPS against lefties than he does against righties.
Wow.
You would not have had that on your bingo card. And pops the sweeper back and out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've been talking all about the rookies in Major League Baseball. How about Munetaka Murakami of the White Sox? Homered in his first 3 games in the major leagues. Became the 4th player in history to do that, 2 of them already this year, along with Chase DeLauder. And a half swing, he stopped it in time, 3-2.
He didn't swing.
The other 2 to do it were Trevor Story and Kyle Lewis.
Okay.
The Twins.
Trevor Story did it in his first 4 games.
He hit 6 in his first 4 games, Story did. 3-2. Got him with a sweeper. Manaea stayed with it, and he gets back-to-back strikeouts to start the top of the 8th.
This is interesting. This is a sweeper that stayed inside, and it tied O'Hearn up. Never did break to the outside corner, so kind of just stayed in his kitchen.
So 2 out and nobody on for Jared Triolo. 0 for 2. Takes up and away for ball 1. Isaac Matson is up in the Pirates bullpen, getting ready for the bottom of the 8th. Well, if velocity was the concern for Manaea coming out of spring training, certainly has not done anything to allay that concern in this game. His breaking stuff has been good, but the fastball's still a little short.
Well, I mean, it feels like he's going to have to learn how to pitch with it right now. He's not going to find 5 miles an hour anytime soon. A lot of different ways to get outs, though.
Behind on Triolo, 3-1. Spencer Horwitz, a left-hand hitter, on deck. And that's away ball 4, so a 2-out walk to Triolo.
Oh, that looked like a strike to me.
Close. And now Horwitz being called back. They've got an all right-handed bench. And Marcelo Zuna is the biggest bat on that bench, but he's not going to get the call here. It's going to be
Billy York.
Nick York.
Nick York, who started yesterday. York went 1 for 5 playing right field. Justin Willard out to the mound to talk to Manaea before he takes on York. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Vanguard. Opening week is brought to you by Vanguard. Discipline that delivers. By Ford, the official truck of the Mets. Test drive their amazing lineup at your local Ford stores. By Prevagen. And by Heineken, proud partner of the New York Mets. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Sean Manaea will get his first look at Nick York, former Red Sox first-round draft pick. Played in 22 games for the Pirates last year. Played mostly second base in the minor leagues, but got the start in right field yesterday. Triolo at first with 2 out. And York takes fastball inside for ball 1. York batting for Spencer Horwitz. That sinker misses. 2-0. Nobody up behind Manaea in the Mets bullpen. Counting on length from Shaw. Even late in the game. Through a 2-0 sweeper that got fouled off. 2-1. So far, that's been his best bet.
You know, he was throwing some changeups before last season. We haven't seen any of that. Maybe coming out of the pen. 2-pitch pitcher.
Here's a changeup. 3 balls and a strike to York.
You know what happens when you lose velocity is that when you're behind in the count, you're reluctant to throw the fastball.
He threw the sweeper and it's too high, ball 4. So back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Manaea to put the go-ahead run at second for Nick Gonzalez. It's a dicey situation that Carlos Mendoza finds himself in. He's got to use Sean. He's got to keep him out there and sharp to try to find himself, but you're in a tie game in the 8th inning.
And he is not the left-hander that comes in to get a face 3 batters. You have to keep him lengthened in case you need him as a starter.
So a big spot for Nick Gonzalez. Is 0 for 3 today, and he swings and loses his elbow guard. 0-1. Tighten that thing up.
Bad Velcro.
Gonzalez 4 for 13 to start the year. He's driven in 3 runs. 2 on and 2 out. And he chops one to Semien right near the bag. Flips to Lindor. Side retired. So Manaea works around a couple of walks. Keeps it tied. Going to the bottom of the 8th at Citi Field. Bottom of the 8th, 2-2 game. Mets trying to sweep this opening series from the Pirates. And Isaac Matson, who had a rough outing on opening day, will get his second appearance.
A lot of that bullpen did opening day. The 9 walks and a hit batsman.
Jorge Polanco leads off and takes a fastball for a strike. Polanco 0 for 3 today.
Matson's awfully tough on right-handed hitters, but he'll have to face the switch hitter Polanco and Beatty in this inning.
Changeup down 1-1. Nick York, after pinch hitting, stays in the game in right field. Ryan O'Hearn moves in to play first base after Horwitz left for a pinch hitter. Matson on opening day gave up 3 hits and 2 walks in 2/3 of an inning and a couple of runs. And Polanco with a check swing foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matson was fined for the Pirates last year. He was in 44 games, pitched to a 2.45 ERA. In his rookie season. University of Pittsburgh product. Still wearing black and gold. 1-2 coming. Too high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Polanco, then Luis Robert and Brett Beatty for the Mets in the bottom of the 8th. Pirates 2 runs, 5 hits. The Mets 2 runs and 8 hits. 2-2. Polanco slices one out to left, and Mangum's right there. 1 away. So now Luis Robert, yesterday's hero. He's been on base 3 times in a row today, 2 singles and a walk.
Can he be today's hero again?
Why not?
Yeah.
Mangum's playing awfully shallow in left field.
He sure is.
And Robert has to move his upper body out of the way. Ball 1.
I don't get that. The young man hit a home run the other night, last night, to win the ball game, and he's playing him like he's a ping hitter.
I mean, you want to play no doubles in this spot, don't you?
Yeah, I would think. Here are the base hits from Roberts. 2 for 2.
That one should have been caught. Not that one.
Swinging the bat more aggressively today in every at bat. Obviously, he did on the home run last night.
And he takes curveball for a strike, and it's 1-2.
And that home run, it was. Remember, that ball was a slider. It was hanging on the middle, and it was around a mid calf, so it was out of the strike zone. He went down and got it.
And he hit through the wind yesterday. That's on the outside corner. Roberts caught looking. 2 out. First time he's been retired today.
He's seen so many breaking pitches that he was surprised by this fastball that caught the outside corner.
And it's 14 strikeouts for Pirates pitching today. The starter Majinski struck out 8, Ramirez 2, Montgomery 3, and now Matson has his first. 2 out and nobody on for Brett Beatty, who's 2 for 3 today. And Beatty watches change up for a strike, 0-1.
Brett swung the bat really well today. He's come out of the chute swinging well. He's just a different player. He's come into his own. He just looks more confident.
Thank you, Francis. Call strike, 0-2.
Confidence.
Weaver up in the Mets bullpen, getting ready for the 9th inning. Devin Williams pitched yesterday.
I do have to say, with the ABS system, which has been used to ridicule umpires, these 3 umpires behind the plate in this series have been fantastic.
Yes, they have.
Funny thing about it is each team won a challenge in the first inning today. I don't think we'll see too many games where there are 2 challenges in the first inning. Both challenges were successful, but each team has had another challenge unsuccessful later in the game. 1-2 coming, and he struck him out. Right inning for Matson, bouncing back from opening day. 1-2-3 with a couple of punch outs. 15 Mets strikeouts today.
Ooh, that
baseball teams, it's your chance to have former World Series champs Keith Hernandez and Ron Darling in their suit and tie be an honorary coach at your practice. Will you wear the short shorts, Keith?
Well, you know, I'm on the injured list right now. I may have to not make it.
Scan the QR code for more information on how to enter today. Yeah, we didn't mention this yesterday, but Keith suffered a late spring training injury. Nearly kept him out for opening day.
Yes, I got a ruptured disc in my L4, L5. Bending over for that McDuff, my dog.
Weaver on to pitch the 9th inning, and Henry Davis holds the swing.
He stole my an envelope out of my hand, and I had to go chase him around the backyard. And I cornered him, and I went to bend over to get it out of his mouth, and boop, it popped.
So we barely started the season, and you've already got the off season.
I never got hurt when I played. That's the thing. Go figure.
You're about one a year right now.
You know, it's the age. I mean, I had eye surgery last week.
Yes, you did.
I got it done before the season.
What kind of eye surgery?
Cataract.
Oh.
Yeah, I can actually see now. It's a big deal.
So you won't blow any home run calls.
No, still might. I'm not infallible. Stuff happens.
Oh God, we have fun up here. 21.
I mean, we're taking you on the road this week. Are you going to be okay to get around?
I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna tough it out. I got the 6-course prednisone right now. If that doesn't work, if I'm not confident it will. It's going to be an epidural. And you never know how long I have that. You never know how long an epidural will last, but I have to do one for the first half, one for the second half, just to get through the season. I'll do it, but it's going to be, if it doesn't shrink, it's surgery in November.
That's why maybe get you the PJ so you can lay down, the private jet.
Let's look for the bunt with Mangum at the plate, and he does drop down the bunt. Bichette will have to go to first. Nice. Sacrifice successful, 5-3, moving Davis along to second with the go-ahead run.
Nice bunt.
I mean, that's textbook. That looks like Brett Butler in the 80s. I mean, just a straight square around, turns the body, catches the ball with the bat. That's what you want to do when you bunt. Not hit it, catch it with the bat.
It's a big part of Mangum's game. Now Neil Cruz with an opportunity. Cruz has been on base twice today with a single and a walk. Pirates in this series are 4 for 34 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 9 today. The first pitch changeup outside from Weaver. Weaver worked the 7th inning yesterday. Gave up a hit, no runs. Leadoff walk today, and now Davis in scoring position with 1 out.
Something the Pirates have been not good at in this series.
And risk falling for a strike, 1-1.
Risk situations. 1 for 9 today. And I'm repeating, Gary, I know, but I just want to emphasize, I want to give it a punch.
You punched it all right.
Is that the prednisone game? 1-1. And that changeup misses down. 2 balls and a strike. I mean, the prednisone can mess with your system.
The gabapentin can make you loopy.
Well, you don't need any help. We're having a pitch comm issue. I think that wasn't working. It was just falling out of his hat. So many things that you guys just never had to deal with.
No, right?
Pitch comm rolling around in your hat. I challenge a ball strike call.
I remember the '84 Cubs were big sign stealers, and Gary Carter would change the signs late in the game every inning. The code, I should say.
Cruz swings and misses at a high fastball, and it's 2-2. 2-2 from Weaver. Got him looking. 2 men down.
That got the corner.
That's 11 strikeouts from Met pitching today.
Good pitch.
Yes.
Right on the corner.
So it's left to Brandon Lau, who has a home run, a double, and a walk in this game. Manaea got him to ground out his last time up in the 7th. And Lau takes a big rip and a changeup, 0-1. That changeup is the bread and butter for Weaver.
Yeah, with a base open, Lau has been their most dangerous hitter in this series. He should get a steady diet of those kick changes.
Davis at second with 2 out. Another changeup. That one misses. Ball on a strike. Nolan McLean went the first 5, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out 8. Oscar Brazovan an inning and 2/3, perfect. Sean Manaea an inning and a third, no runs, 1 hit. Now Weaver in the 9th. 1-1. Fastball misses, 2 balls and a strike. And Reynolds would be next. It's had a rough day. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Pirates have had just 5 hits. Lau has 2 of them. And now Weaver falls behind him, 3-1.
You know, it's interesting with Weaver and Williams, similar pitchers in that their fastball is probably secondary to their really good changeup, but they've got to make every fastball count. And Weaver missed with 2 fastballs in this at bat.
Dennis Santana up in the Pirate bullpen, their closer. 3-1 coming. Fouled away with changeup on 3-1.
Yeah, you saw the reaction on that pitch by Weaver. He got it down and in. He knew he got away with one right there. You want to get it down and away.
To Lau. First Weaver steps off. On 3-2, Lau pops one foul. That'll come back out of play.
They went right after him.
Inside, he sure did. Good pitch.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming from Weaver to Lau.
Good eye.
And he missed with a changeup for ball 4. And the Pirates have 2 men on. Just Lau on base for the 4th time today.
Sorry, Gary. It's just a good at-bat by Lau.
Yep.
And Weaver had the open base, too.
And Reynolds has had a rough day. So we'll face Reynolds. That's 6 walks issued by Met pitchers today.
Justin Willard, the pitching coach, coming out, the new pitching coach.
Mets have walked only 4 hitters through the first 2 games in this series, but 6 today.
You know, just judging from early in the season, I think when his primary relievers are in the pitch and they go through 3 or 4 hitters in real tough situation, he goes out to just kind of give them a blow before they have to face and get the most difficult out here in Reynolds.
Well, this is the guy who Weaver's had trouble with. Reynolds is 4 for 10 with 2 home runs in his career against Luke. But today 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Pirates get another opportunity with a runner in scoring position. And a dreadful day for them in this regard. Dreadful series. But Reynolds gets another crack. Reynolds fouls off the first pitch changeup, and that one knocked some dirt into the eye of Luis Torrens. Reynolds had the worst year of his career last year. On a bounce back at age 31. His 8th year with the Pirates. 2 on, 2 out. And Reynolds watches a fastball for a strike, and it's 0-2. Richard Loveladies up in the Mets bullpen. Reynolds gets on. We might see Lovelady to face O'Hearn. Weaver trying to make that unnecessary. 20 pitches deep into this top of the ninth. They head on Reynolds 0-2. Didn't know where the ball is. It's at his feet. Almost. Had it, dropped it.
Remember, there's no art to that. It's either it catches the pocket or doesn't.
It catches you.
Yes.
Again, the 0-2 to Reynolds. Hit on the ground toward the hole. Bichette's got it. Goes to second. First play. Side retired. Luke Weaver works around a couple of walks in the ninth, and the Mets are trying to walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. On to Sports Night tonight at 11. A recap of Nolan McLean's debut. UConn and Duke trying to get to the Final Four. All coming up on Honda Sports Night tonight at 11 on SNY. Mets walked it off yesterday, and they'll look for another one today. 2-2 going to the bottom of the ninth. McLean handled the first 5 innings. Mets have got 4 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. And now Dennis Santana pitching for the 3rd time in the first 3 games of the season.
You know, you're really noticing the managing of Don Kelly. He's got some favorites out there in the bullpen because you've seen him in each of the first 3.
Santana worked the ninth yesterday, issued a leadoff walk and got a little lucky on a line drive double play that got him through the inning. Marcus Semien leads off the bottom of the ninth, and he swings and misses at a first pitch slider, 0-1. Semien today 0 for 2, delivered the first Met run with a sacrifice fly. Shadows starting to become an issue. And Semien flies one into shallow center. On comes Cruz. And put it away, 1 out. Sunglasses work. So now 1 out and nobody on for Beatty, who hit that bullet against Santana in the 9th inning yesterday into a line drive double play. I'm sorry, it's Carson Bench at the plate, and Jared Young is out on deck to pinch hit for Torrent. Change up there by Santana. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bench is 0 for 3 today. He's reached on there, flied out, and struck out. And that one caught the corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think the Pirates have some good arms in that bullpen.
I do too.
This year, right? That's not going to be a weakness for them.
You know, Skeens had a bad start, but I like all 3 of their first 3 starters.
They haven't even rolled out Bubba Chandler yet. He's got an unlimited potential. Got a lot of good young starting pitching. Bullpen was a question coming into the year. 2-2 coming to bench. And he wraps one out to left. Right there is Mangum. Now that's the second out. So 2 out and nobody on. Now Jared Young bats for Luis Torrens. Looking for 1 big swing. Lovelady getting ready for the 10th.
Yesterday's winning pitcher.
Interesting choice here. Taking Torrens out with 2 outs to hit Young. I know that he has home run power, but now that puts Alvarez in play. Doesn't get a day off.
You think it's easier to do that now when you can't play 18-inning games anymore?
Yes, that, and also you have more days off usually in the month of March, April. But
Young last year had 43 at-bats for the Mets, hit 4 home runs. Played for Canada in the World Baseball Classic. Looking for 1 big swing against Dennis Santana. And Jared takes the fastball high for ball 1. Young, the only left-handed bat on Carlos Mendoza's bench today. Was the last guy to make the club. It was a choice of Young or Vidal Brujan, a speedy middle infielder.
I think they needed the left-hander on the bench here. That was the deciding factor.
And that's for just this spot. Young pokes one foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And, you know, Young last year showed some pop. He's got power.
Francisco Lindor would be next if Young can keep this inning alive. 1-2 coming from Santana, and he comes inside with a fastball, and it's 2-2. Fights off that fastball, stay in the at bat. Pirates have gotten 4 1/3 scoreless innings out of their bullpen. Ramirez, Montgomery, Madsen, and now Santana. Again, the 2-2 to Young, and he got him with a breaking ball. Santana strikes out Young, and for the 2nd straight day, the Mets and Pirates are going to extra innings.
At St.
Mets won an 11-inning affair yesterday. Looking for a sweep of this series. They'll have to go overtime to do it again. 2-2 as we go to the 10th.
Reynolds will be the runner on second.
That's the new battery in the game. Francisco Alvarez will catch after Terren's left for a pinch hitter, and Richard Lovelady, who got the victory yesterday, is back for more.
Yeah, Lovelady gave up a couple hits, but his breaking ball looked a lot sharper than it did last season with his tour with the Mets.
Both the hits in the 11th inning yesterday came with 2 out, and he was able to strike out Nick Gonzalez to get through the inning. Reynolds the free runner at second. Ryan O'Hearn the first batter. O'Hearn is 2 for 4 today, but struck out his last 2 at bats. Pirates have just 5 hits over the first 9 innings. They've drawn 6 walks. Its bullpen staggered a bit when Minaya and Weaver each walked a pair, but each was able to survive. After O'Hearn, it's Jared Triolo, then Nick York. 2 right-hand hitters in a row after O'Hearn. And O'Hearn hits it toward the middle. That's past Semien, a base hit. Reynolds will score the go-ahead run, and the Pirates have taken the lead in the 10th inning. Ryan O'Hearn on the second pitch thrown by Richard Lovelady singles up the middle to get the free runner home, and it's 3-2 Pittsburgh.
Slider up and over the too much plate. Yeah, that's a flat slider up, belt high.
Jared Triolo tried to bunt and takes a strike.
O'Hearn really got on top, had a good line drive swing on that ball. Didn't try to hit it out of the yard.
So the third hit today for O'Hearn, who's driven in 2 of the 3 Pirate runs. Triolo, after showing bunt on the first pitch, ready to swing, and takes a fastball just off the plate, 1-1. Well, the Pirates twice took the lead in extra innings yesterday. The Mets were able to rally each time. Strike to Triolo.
Back-to-back days for Lovelady, something that you usually do not see in spring training for these relievers.
And he threw 22 pitches in yesterday's game. It's not like he had an easy go of it. Two coming, and that just missed if it did. No challenge from Alvarez. 3-2. Let's have 1 challenge remaining. If you don't have a challenge after 9 innings, you get 1 in extra innings. But if you have 1, you don't get an extra 1. On the ground is short, a chance for 2. Lindor to second, Semien on to first. In time, double play. 2 men down. Big double play rolled by Lovelady. Now 2 out and nobody on. And I think that's a really odd part of the ABS rules. I mean, either give everybody an extra challenge in extra innings or don't. You shouldn't get 1 if you're out of challenges, but not get 1 if you have 1 left. That doesn't seem to make much sense.
To me, I would add, because that's what you're trying to do, get the call right, especially at a critical juncture, which would certainly be extra innings.
Like in basketball, you get an extra timeout in overtime, right? Nick York takes fastball off the plate. 2-0. York appeared as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, drew a walk, and then stayed in the game in right field. Pirates have a run home here in the 10th, 2 out and nobody on. Slider misses down, 2-3-0. It really is the case with these extra inning rules. If you can limit the visiting team to 1 run in the top of the inning, you feel pretty good about it. You get that tying run at second base to start the bottom. And that's a 4-pitch walk. And so York's been up twice, walked both times. So the Lovelady issues the 7th walk surrendered by Mets pitching today. Mets will have the top of the batting order coming up in the bottom of the 10th. Lindor, Soto, and Bichette. We're going to get a pinch runner now. Billy Cook will run for York at first base. Came in for defense for York in the game yesterday. So Cook is the pinch runner at first. Nick Gonzalez the batter. Lovelady struck him out yesterday. Gonzalez has gone 0 for 4 this afternoon. Shadow has reached the midway point between the hitter and the pitcher.
Not optimal for the hitter. It might not be out far enough yet where you got a lot of daylight.
Lovelady let his arm lag there. 2 balls and no strikes, and Alvarez going to take that one back to the mound.
It's hard for relief pitchers after a 22-pitch effort to have their A game the next time out.
There's nobody up in the Mets bullpen. On opening day, the Mets used only 2 relievers, Myers for 3, Garcia for 1. Yesterday, they wound up running through 6 of their 8 relievers. Out to join the conversation. So Lovelady's missed with 6 in a row after getting the double play ball. Last time the Mets had 2 extra inning games within their first 3 games was 1991. 1991. Swing and a miss and a fastball. Maybe not fondly.
I didn't make the whole season that year. Traded away, discarded.
You were? Montreal, right?
Then you found a second life.
Yeah.
Life under La Russa.
The second life was after a game, pitching well, and there were 2 people who wanted to talk to you. That was the second life.
Probably one more than there is now. 2-1 coming. Put away, and so Lovelady continuing to have trouble to the arm side. Now he's behind 3-1. Jose Urquidy, the former Astros starter, is up in the Pirates bullpen. Looks like he may get the save opportunity. The only guy in that Pirates bullpen who hasn't pitched in the series. We'll count to Gonzalez.
Soto way over in the gap. That left field line is wide open, and they're shading him to the opposite field.
Cook will be running. Beatty continues to hold the bag. 3-2 coming, and the slider missed for ball 4. So back-to-back 2-out walks. There's nobody up behind Lovelady in the Mets bullpen, and he is leaking oil.
He needs an out.
22 pitches yesterday, 18 more today. And now he's got to get Henry Davis with 2 out and 2 on.
This is where, as a pitcher, got to trust the leather behind you.
Davis is 0 for 3 in a walk today. And the fastball misses upstairs, ball 1. Lady was the last man to make the pitching staff out of spring training. It chose him over Brian Hudson, who was claimed on waivers by the White Sox. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 1-1. And Davis lines one over Semien into center field. The base hit. Robert has him on a hop. The throw in place offline. Cook comes in to score to give the Pirates a 2-run lead.
Big 2-out RBI.
So Henry Davis, with his second hit and second RBI in this series, cashes in the 2-out walk. And the Pirates now with a 4-2 lead in the 10th.
Well, he hasn't been finding the plate, and he has to come in with the fastball. And they're on it.
Oh, he fumbled it. That's what happened to Robert in center field. He kind of fumbled it before throwing it. That's why it was such a weak throw.
And Cook can really run. That's why he's in as a pinch runner. So now it's 4-2 Pittsburgh, first and third with 2 out. And Jake Mangum will be the 7th man up in the inning. Mangum is 0 for 3 with a sacrifice today. Bichette in close at third. And the slider bends in for a strike, 0-1. So the Met bullpen was able to hold the fort for 4 innings behind Nolan McLean, but with Lovelady being taxed, he surrendered a pair in the 10th. A push bunt, and it goes foul when it's 0-2. Mangum sacrificed his last time up, now trying to bunt for a hit to drive in a run. It's up the top of the batting order coming up in the bottom of the 10th. Lindor, Soto, and Bichette, presumably against Jose Urquidy, who's getting ready in the Pittsburgh bullpen. And Mangum takes it down. 1-2.
I think you got to be prepared defensively what you're going to do if you're Alvarez and Davis takes off here. To try a little college play on him.
1-2. There goes Davis, and it's fouled back. Davis ran halfway to second. He was all ready to get into a rundown.
Good call, Ron.
Strike 3, and Mangum is out on strikes, and Lovelady finally slams the door in the 10th with the Pirates score 2 and lead it 4-2. Mets up the top of the batting order coming up in the bottom of the 10th inning, trailing 4-2. And Jose Urquidy, one-time starter for the Houston Astros, battling back from Tommy John surgery and now making his first appearance for the Pirates.
Yeah, had surgery about 18 months ago. Played some games for Detroit last year for his old manager. But 70 starts for the Astros during his time there.
Billy Cook takes over in right. Jared Young is the free runner at second. Francisco Lindor the tying run at the plate in a 4-2 game. Lindor, his last 2 at-bats is a triple and a single. He scored a run. Excuse me, it's Alvarez at second base. He came in after Young pinch hit. changeup misses outside, and Keedy falls behind Lindor at 2-0. Fastball strike, 2-1. Keedy has one save in his major league career. It came in 2023 with the Astros, his last year in Houston. Missed all of 24. Pitched only 2 games in the big leagues last year for Detroit. And now thrust into a save situation in his first outing for the Pirates.
Ball on the field out of the Pittsburgh bullpen.
Gil Cruz went out to retrieve it. Lindor 2 for 6 in his career against Urquidy. And that sinker found the inside corner. 2-2.
He's got that two-seamer he throws at the left-hander's hip.
Never a very hard thrower. A lot of curveballs and changeups. Soto on deck. 2-2 to Lindor. And he nubs one foul on a changeup. Still 2-2.
That was a good pitch right there, and Lindor gets a piece of it, stays in the fight.
That's rallied in extra innings twice yesterday. But this time trying to come from 2 runs down in the 10th. Again, the 2-2 and the curveball, and it just missed. Full count.
Boy, I would have to. That would be one I would challenge. I think that fooled the umpire. That was a good, sharp 12-6 curve.
So a full count to Lindor, tying run at the plate.
Yep.
And you are right, Keith.
Yes, sir.
Too high, ball 4, and the Mets have the tying runs on base. So Lindor reaches safely for the 3rd straight time. With the second walk given up by Pirate pitching today, and that was quite an at-bat. And now Soto can win this game with one big swing.
He go back-to-back 3-run homers in extra innings.
Soto's only had one career at-bat against Urquidy, 0 for 1. Swings and hits one out to left center field, headed toward the gap. That's going to bounce and go to the wall. Alvarez comes in to score. Lindor being waved around. The relay throw to the plate by Triolo, and Lindor is set out at the plate. Jared Triolo with the one-hop strike to Henry Davis, who got the tag down on Lindor for the first out of the inning. Soto with an RBI double to get the Mets within a run, but the tying run gunned down at the plate.
Well, your fundamentals here. Big gap. Here's the play at the plate. Most definitely out. And he got tagged on the chin. Now watch the fundies here, folks. Relay throw in. You've got to hit the cutoff man. Oh, nice play by the shortstop on the short hop.
The Mets are challenging, and the only way they could challenge is if they say that Davis was blocking the plate, because obviously he was out.
But he caught the ball in kind of foul territory.
He has to go.
Plate was fully.
He has to go get the ball.
Yeah, and the plate was fully open for Lindor until Davis closed that gap.
It certainly seemed that way.
Right.
Carlos Mendoza challenging the call. Play under review presented by Citizens, making sense of the play. They can't be arguing that it was a ground ball double. The ball clearly hit the padding, not going over the fence.
I mean, he cleared the entire plate.
He's not even close to home plate to be. I mean, if it.
And the call is confirmed.
Yes. Nice play by the catcher. That's not an easy hop.
Nope.
You're right, Ron. Good call.
8-6-2 the play at the plate for the first out of the inning. Billy Murphy, the Pirate pitching coach, is on his way out to the mound. There's nobody up in the bullpen.
So a short hop here on the throw-in. Not that much of a short hop, but a nice play there and a ball bleeding up the line. Catcher, nice play all the way around.
So it's an RBI double for Soto, who's driven in 2 runs today. The Mets are within a run. They've got the tying run in scoring position with 1 out and Bo Bichette coming up.
Billy Murphy spent some time as the pitching coach over in Houston, so one of the reasons maybe Urquidy is here.
It's been a rough day for Bo Bichette. 0 for 4, and he struck out 3 times. Now another chance for him with the tying run in scoring position. You see his numbers against Urquidy, 4 for 14 with a home run. Soto's first extra base hit of the season, getting the Mets within 1. And Bichette takes fastball down for ball 1. Oh, he's 1 for 13 to start his Mets career with 7 strikeouts. Very unlike him. And he grounds one to short. Soto advances. Triolo makes the throw to first for the 2nd out. So now the Mets are down to their final out, the tying run on third base, and Jorge Polanco coming up.
That was a bit of a risk, Soto going to third right there. That was not hit to the left of the shortstop. It was right at him.
I think he went because it was not hit hard.
And he got a good jump.
Yeah.
So it was a good read off the bat.
So now Polanco has gone 0 for 4 today. Looking to get that tying run home from third with 2 out. And Polanco drives one deep right field. That goes Cook on the track at the wall. He makes the catch, and the Pirates hang on to win. Polanco making a bid for a walk-off home run, came up a few feet shy. Cook catches it with his back near the wall, and the Pirates salvage the finale of the series as they beat the Mets in 10, 4-3.
Well, this was another fine pitch ball game, and here's the final out right here. I think it was a little bit off the end of the bat, the contact. Cook gets put out there and makes the final out.
Rubs it in before he brings it in.
So Urquidy could get the save and take a deep breath.
Well, the Mets run into an out in the 10th inning, and they fall a run shy after winning the first 2 games of the series. The Pirates take the finale as Urquidy gets his 2nd career save, and Lovelady, who got the win yesterday, takes the loss today. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Papa John's. Don't miss baseball pizza, available for 1 week only. By Infinity, experience their luxury SUVs at your local retailer today. By Suffolk Credit Union, be a HELOC hero at Suffolk Credit Union. And by Hyundai, the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, deals so right it almost feels wrong, only at your local Hyundai dealer. Final score in 10 innings today. The Pirates 4, the Mets 3. Mets now begin their first road trip in St. Louis tomorrow night, with Clay Holmes making his first start of the year against Kyle Leahy. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock. First pitch at 7:45 Eastern Time tomorrow night, right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. Time for Mets Post-Game Live. Let's join Gary Apple, Jerry Blevins, and Todd Zeal in the studio. Gentlemen.
Okay, we thank you. Great chance for the Mets there in that 10th inning. We'll go and get into that play at the plate where Francisco Lindor was out. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's go back out to the ballpark right now, get a look at our notes from this game and see how things unfolded. Nolan McLean got the start, gave up a couple of runs over 5 innings. Brandon Lau with his 3rd home run of the series. That's a solo shot. In the 3rd inning, and the Pirates had the lead. It was 2-1. Lau had himself a heck of a series. The Mets came back. They tied it in the 5th inning after Francisco Lindor tripled off the fence. Juan Soto Lindor drove him in. He singles into right field, and the game was tied at 2-2, and it stayed that way until the 10th inning when the Pirates went back in front off Richard Lovelady. Ryan O'Hearn drives in the free runner, Brian Reynolds, and Pittsburgh had the lead. It was 3-2. It was a 4-2 game, bottom of the 10th inning, first and second, nobody out, and here we go. Juan Soto, great piece of hitting, goes the opposite way, drives one to the wall out left center field. Francisco Alvarez, he was the free runner. He comes in to score, and they try to score Lindor as well. Here comes the throw, and Francisco is out at the plate, and so it was still a 4-3 game. Last chance for the Mets now. Polanco with Soto on third and 2 outs. He drives one deep to right field, but it was not deep enough. Just at the base of the wall, Cook makes the catch, and the Mets lose by a final of 4-3. It was their first defeat of the year. They take 2 out of 3 in this opening series against the Pirates, but disappointing today because they had so many chances. Let's go to that play there, bottom of the 10th inning. Soto sends one to the gap, and they try to score Lindor to tie the game. What was your thought on it, Tom?
Yeah, I thought it was a little aggressive. I think that, you get caught up in the moment right there. Lindor is a guy that runs. He sees the ball in front of him. He was being aggressive, from the whole time that he saw the ball get in the gap. He's wanting to score right there. You got to give some credit to the Pirates for making a good relay. The center fielder gets to that ball quick off this ricochet, and it comes in and takes it, throws a nice one hop right there. But the throw by Triolo, not the greatest throw in the world, but enough. He got rid of it quickly and got it into the catcher. Good job making the tab. And the reality is, I think Tim Leeper, if he had it to do over again, would probably say, hey, that's a little aggressive in that situation. There's nobody out. We've got one run coming across. We're down by 1 still. 2 guys out, second and third. Not a strikeout pitcher on the mound. Nobody out in the inning. So all of those reasons you could say, hey, if you calculated all those things at the same time, you say, hey, maybe you hold him up right there and take your chances with the guys coming up behind him. But in that moment, I can understand why you're trying to get that run across. It's a ball in the gap. Lindor usually scores on a double from first base, and he got the, I think they were a little less aggressive yesterday and held some guys that you thought might be able to score, and maybe today was like, hey, we're going to be a little more aggressive on the bases, and ran into a big out.
That's the key for me. I think it was the way they were cautious yesterday. They had a couple of opportunities to score, and then today they probably had that conversation where they're like, hey, I'd like us to be a little bit more aggressive on the base paths, try to take that extra base, try to score, make them make a play. I think that might have caught up with Leeper. He's a veteran. The guy's done it for a long time. This seemed to be, thinking back on it, because there was no outs, I think that's the obvious choice, is that he probably should have held him up there, runners on second and third, nobody out. Hardy or Order coming up. Hindsight's easy. We can always guess it from here, but I think even he would, say that was probably a little too aggressive.
Yeah, it's worth noting here the Mets did challenge that play at the plate, but the call was upheld, and Francisco Lindor was out at home. Listen, they still had a chance there. They had the runner at second with 1 out. Bo Bichette, not a great opening series for Bichette. He had 8 strikeouts in this series. That is a new career high for him over a 3-game series that he rolled over to shortstop there in that 10th inning. What did you see overall from Bo in this series?
Well, what I've seen from him so far that's different than what I saw in spring training is that he's a little in between on his approach at the plate. And what I mean by that is he's behind the fastballs and ahead of the off speed. And right now, because he's been behind in the fastball has been something that he's getting a steady diet of, because the pitchers are recognizing that he's a little out of sorts. And you see him, he's a guy that we've talked about enough times as a hitter that he takes that big coil, his back almost facing the pitcher, when he winds up and the bat flat. It's a lot of moving parts, and the timing has to be good for him to be on time. He's just not on time right now. And what he was doing in spring training was, I thought he was a little more on time, shooting the ball through the middle, certainly still utilizing that right field side of the field, but being able to get the barrel out in front to pull the ball and drive the ball. He hasn't even fouled balls on the pull side right now, which tells me he's picking it up a little bit late, and maybe that's just the timing mechanism is a little bit off right now with all the movement that he has in his swing. And you know what? put that into perspective, it's one series, and he's going to be a great addition to this team. He's going to drive in runs. He's going to get big hits. But right now, I think he's got a lot that are on his shoulders, right? First home series, big contract, changing positions, having some struggles at third base as well. So he's got a lot on his mind, a lot on his plate, and he probably needs to just get one big hit, get a breather, because the guy's too good to have this kind of be his story here in New York.
Yeah, it's just 3 games, and I do want to follow, and I think you bring up a really good point right there when you talk about all of the things on his plate, and one of them certainly being the fact that he has changed positions, and he had some struggles down at third base during this opening series with some of his throws. Jerry, do you think that could be bleeding into what we saw from the offensive side of things?
I don't particularly think it's the defense blending over. I think Todd hit the nail on the head there. If we look back to last year, Juan Soto was human. He had a struggle. He came out of the gates not being the person that we know for his entire career. We demarcate it for him was that the Yankees series, and then who he was before that versus who he was after that. I think it's a little bit. It's a lot to play in front of this crowd, in front of a big contract. You're playing for a free agency. You're doing all these changes. He wants to be the hero. I've seen him swing. He swings a ton. He makes a ton of contact. But as a pitcher, I'm watching him. There's no place that you can throw him inside that he's not trying to swing. So normally he's really good at fouling the balls off. It was a lot like when Jeff McNeil gets into swing mode. There's no place that you can go into him that he's not going to try to fight this ball off. And so I think pitchers are seeing that in the first series. They're like, just keep running that ball in, running it up. He wants to swing. He's not as patient. His bat's a little bit longer. All these things are playing into it. I think it's big for him right now. It's the first series. We'll wash it away and just take a deep breath. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it is something about playing in New York can be different, and you hit it on the head with Soto last year. You saw how much he wanted, and that want sometimes can impact what you do in the box. And what we've seen from Bo is, look, he's a free swinger. He always has been, but he makes a ton of contact. For him to strike out 8 times in a 3-game series is very, very unusual for him. It's never happened before in his career. So it's not only free swinging, it's swinging at balls out of the zone. It's being late on balls that are fastballs getting by him. It's trying to do a little bit too much, and that's going to change when he finally has the ability to relax a little bit and get back to doing what is natural for him. Sure. You're going to see him come alive.
Listen, we spoke about it all last year when Juan Soto struggled out of the gate. We kept saying, look at the back of the baseball card. That's what it's going to be, and I think it's the same thing here with Bo Bichette. So Mets win in extra innings yesterday. They lose in extra innings today. We're just getting going here on Mets Post Game Live. They had a chance there in that 10th inning. Polanco gave it a ride, not deep enough. When we come back, we'll hear from the manager, Carlos Mendoza. Back in a moment.